Now we'll be chanting the Mahavakya. Now we'll be chanting the Mahavakya Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha 11 times internally. I request all the participants to chant it internally along with me. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now we'll perform the Achamana, the ritualistic cleansing. Now please take your Panchapatram and Udharni, the water pot and spoon, and place it in front of you. Now bend your right hand index finger inside your palm, making a cup with your palms. Then pour Udharni of water, a spoon of water in your hands, and drink it when you hear the word Swada. Om Atmatattvam Shodhayami Swada. Om Vidyatattvam Shodhayami Swada. Om Shivatattvam Shodhayami Swada. Now, wash your hands with the Udharni of water and wipe the upper and lower lips twice with the base of the palm. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Wash your hands with the Udharni of water. Now, with the right hand, index, middle and ring fingers touch above the lip and below the lip. Wash your hands with a spoon of water. Now, with the index finger and thumb touch the right nostril, then the left nostril. With the ring finger and thumb touch the right eye, right ear, left ear. Wash your hands with the Udharni of water. Now, with the little finger and thumb touch the navel, the right chest and the left chest, and with all the fingertips touch above the head, right shoulder, left shoulder and the heart center. Wash your hands with the Udharni of water. Now place your right palm over your left palm and place both your hands on your right thigh. This is the Sankalpa Mudra. Now we'll be performing the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution. Now close your eyes and intensely hold in your inner space what you want to manifest out of this yoga, what reality you want to create by performing this yoga. As yoga is a very powerful time and a space to manifest reality, any reality. Now take this time as we chant this Sankalpa mantra to intensely hold in your inner space what you want to manifest. Om Mamo Partha Samasta Duridakshayadwara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Śakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Adya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshana Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhaditau Purnaroghyakta Dragatri Yogic Sharir Siddhyartham Paramashiva Shakti Avishkaranartham Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasam Karishye Om Apaupasprishyam. Wash your hands with the Udharni of water. Now that we have beautifully completed the ritualistic cleansing, the Achamana and the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, you can keep your Panchapatram and Udharni aside. Let's now have a quick recap of the 12 components before we enter into the yoga, with the first component being the asana, which is the body postures that we are performing. As we perform these body postures, we intensely start breathing, which pulls more prana inside, and as the prana fills in our body, the energy centers align and raise the kundalini to the sahasrara, raising our consciousness and giving the byproducts of healing, manifesting our reality, and keeping us in a high state of consciousness throughout the day to receive the grace and initiation of the Supreme Point of Hinduism. The next component is the pranayama, which are the breathing techniques that we'll perform with the asanas. As we perform these pranayamas, they help us to pull the maximum prana in those particular asanas inside our body and hold them without letting them leave the body. The next component is the mudra, which is the various hand and body gestures we'll be performing with the asanas. As we perform these gestures, they simulate a certain set of energy circuits, which in turn awaken the energy centers and help raise the kundalini to the sahasrara, to the crown center. The next component is the bandha, which are the various locks. As we have seen in the past days, there are 4 bandhas. First of which is the mula bandha, the contracting the perineal muscles, the excretory and regenerative muscles. This mula bandha will be shown in a red circle, and you can perform this mula bandha throughout the whole sequence in every asana as much as you can. The next component is the next bandha is the Uddiyana bandha, pulling the stomach in and up. This Uddiyana bandha will be shown in a yellow circle. The next bandha is the Jalandhara bandha, locking the chin to the chest. This bandha will be shown in a blue circle. And finally, the Mahamudra bandha, which is performing all the 3 bandhas together, as we can see in this first asana, Sukhasana. The next component is the visualization. The visualizations is one of the most important components of the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, as what we visualize during this time directly enters our biomemory and manifests those energies throughout our day. So, as part of the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, we'll be visualizing various gods, sages, and other spiritual items and symbols. As we visualize these items, we radiate those energies in our body. The next component is the karana, the various dance postures that we'll be performing. These karanas have been directly given to us by Paramashiva when he performed the Ananda Tandava, creating this whole cosmos. These karanas activate various muscles and energy centers as we perform them, which also help raise the kundalini. The next component is the japa, the internal chanting of the Mahavakyas. As we chant these Mahavakyas, they help us to be in a state of unclutching as we focus our thought on just one thing. These japas, these Mahavakyas, which have been given to us by the Supreme Fount of Hinduism, and they in turn make sure that we stay in a high state of consciousness. The next component is the chanting of the Shastra Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas are the authentic scriptural references for each of the asanas that we'll be performing. These Shastra Pramanas help us remember that these asanas have been given by Paramashiva. So, when we perform these asanas, we'll be manifesting ultimate health and high state of consciousness. The next component is the weightlifting. As part of this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, you can add weights to the asanas to intensify them and make the whole Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama challenging and interesting for you. The next component is the mandala. The mandala or the yantra we'll be using for the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama is the Shri Yantra. This Shri Yantra is a very powerful cosmic geometry that has been given to us directly by Paramashiva, and just by gazing at this yantra through the process of quantum entanglement and mirroring neurons, the energies of this Shri Yantra get activated in your brain and help you manifest a more powerful life. The next component is the Abharana. The Abharana we'll be using for this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama is the Rudraksha. Rudraksha is a very powerful energy bead and acts like a battery, storing the prana and the conscious energy that we radiate during this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. And you can use the Rudraksha to heal yourself or someone or manifest a reality. The next component is the Aushadha. The Aushadha will be using for this Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama is Vibhuti, the Bhasma, applied on the 16 points or at least on the forehead, kumkum on the third eye, and turmeric on the temples. Now that we have had a quick recap of the 12 components, let's enter the first asana, Sukhasana. Now sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring your awareness to the third eye as you visualize Paramashiva. Keep your hands in Bindu Mudra, touching the index and thumb. Perform the Mahamudra Bandha and start performing the Samana Kumbhaka for the following asanas, which is inhaling, holding the breath, visualizing intense fire in your stomach, and then exhaling. Hold the japa Soham in your inner space. Tatsukha asanamityuktam ashaktastacha macharetasana vijitam yena jitam tena jagatrayam. The next asana is Parvatasana. Now sit in a cross-leg posture or in Padmasana and then raise your hands over your head with both the palms together in Namaskar Mudra. Visualize Mount Kailash and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Parvatasana vakshe Ata vakshe Mahadeva Parvatasana Mangalam Yatkritva Asirrupi Sya Chachakradi Vilopanam. The next asana is Halipavasana. Now bring the soles of the feet together in front of you and interlace your fingers behind your back. Slowly lean forward and place your forehead behind the heels. Visualize Swamiji, gaze at the nose and perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Purva Vidiyahu me jano Ubay Pakatili Sampratano Pishtipachedo Kalyavo Dachinakar Vam Gahavo. The next asana is Nagipavasana. Now raise up and bring the hands near the shins with the palms cupped near the feet. Then slowly lower your head and place it behind your heels. Visualize a snake, gaze at the nose and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Purva Vidhi Pari Agane Nichoho Hi Kaho Nipanasya Lagayi Hath Agane Dartil Gave Pasarido Hath Ki Anjuli Kare. The next asana is Kokilasana. Now raise up and hold your big toes with the respective hand in Prana Mudra, which is holding the big toe with the index and middle finger. Then raise your legs up and straight and then cross your legs into Padmasana. Then bring the elbows to the ground and then perform the Mahamudra Bandha and visualize a bird in your inner space. Atanyadasanam vakshe yena siddho bhave naraha akasmad vayu sancharam koklakyasanena cha. The next asana is Nithyananda. Now stack the knees and ankles and hold the opposite elbows. Then circle your hands in one direction and then the other. Visualize Swamiji, gaze at the nose and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Goda Baba Padiki Ahimakli Soye Dachitarna Kovar Lauta Parigulpa Samoye. The next asana is Gajasana. Now place your hands and feet flat on the mat, coming to a plank position with the hips up, raised high. Then start scooping the body forward again and again, visualizing an elephant, and now perform the Udyana Bandha, pulling the stomach in and up. Nujjambada agre bhuma kritva lambi boya mastakagre nidaya nidambam urdamunnamaya nabi laksham bhumo nasika maniya. The next asana is Rikshasana. Stop scooping the body and alternate raising one heel and pressing the opposite heel on the mat. Repeat this again and again as you visualize the bear and continue to hold the Udyana Bandha. Ekaikam padama kunja gajasanam kuryat Rikshasana bhavati. The next asana is Vaishasana. Now stand up tall on the tip of your big toe if possible, or at least on all your toes. Then raise your hands and bring them parallel to the ground with the index, middle and ring fingers touch the heart center. Then visualize Swamiji and continue to hold the Udyana Bandha. Keshena bhagdala yugulam tatvatishteta domakahata vaishyavakshe yat kritva satyavan bhavet. The next asana is Urdhvajanukarna. Now come to Araimandi, a half squatting position, which is bending your knees slightly, keeping the heels touching and the toes pointed out. Then bring the hands parallel to the ground in front of your heart center and simultaneously raise one foot with hand rotating it inside and then coming back to the center. Visualize Swamiji, visualize Paramashiva in your inner space. Yes, now we can relax and move to the next asana, Bhalalingasana. Now interlace your fingers from the inside out in Sarvashankari Mudra. And then raise one knee and pull it as close to your chest as possible, visualizing caressing a baby. Continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha and the Samana Kumbhaka. Ekam jana ursyalinga statavyam balalinganam bhavati. The next asana is Padapirnasana. Now relax the leg and then pull one leg towards the buttocks from the behind and hold it with both the hands, interlacing them in Parshamudra. Visualize Swamiji and continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. स्थित्वै कस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां व्यष्टयेतनं पृष्ठे संस्थापयत्वेन पादपीडनमासनम्. The next asana is Natarajasana, as you raise one leg behind and hold it with the respective hand from the inside. Then pull the leg backwards and up. As you lean forward, stretch the other hand front and keep the stretched hand's finger in Bindu Mudra. Visualize Lord Nataraja in your inner space. Uttana padam krauncha maricham veerabhadrakam natarajam trikonam cha suptangushta prasarane. The next asana is Balingasana on the opposite side. Now again interlace your fingers from the inside out and then pull one knee towards the chest. Visualize caressing a baby and continue to perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Ekam jan ursiyalingya statavyam balalinganam bhavati. The next asana is Padapirnasana on the opposite side. Now relax the leg and then pull one leg backwards towards the buttocks. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and hold the Mula Bandha. Continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. स्थित्वै कस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां व्यष्टयेतनं पृष्ठे संस्थापयत्वेन पादपीडनमासनम्. The next asana is Natarajasana on the opposite side. Now pull one leg from the inside and back and then with the other hand stretch the opposite hand forward and keep it in Bindu Mudra. Visualize Lord Nataraja in your inner space. Uttana padam krauncha maricham veerabhadrakam natarajam trikonam cha suptangushta prasarane. The next asana is Ardharechita Karna. Now come to the half squatting position, Arai Mandi, and then bring both your hands parallel to the heart center. Then cross one ankle behind the other, keeping the toe down and the heels raised. Then with the respective hand, make a pendulum motion, swinging the hand a few times back and forth gracefully. Then place the palm on your nose and then repeat this on the opposite side. Yes, now let's perform the skeleton dance. As you intensely start shaking the body, visualize yourself as pure bone structure. Don't have any pattern in the way you move your body and just visualize all the tiredness, laziness and boredom is leaving your body and Paramashiva is intensely filling it. Shake your body intensely. Yes, relax now. Now take a moment to catch your breath as we move to the next karna, which is Katichinna Karna. Now come to the half squatting position and raise your hands above the head, crossing the palms. Now open the palms wide and the hands wide as you turn to one side. Then come back to the center and cross the hands above the head. Repeat this on the opposite side as you do this again and again on both sides. Yes, relax now. We'll move to the next asana, Tadasana. Now stand tall on the tip of your toes and then raise your hands above your head, keeping the elbows straight and the palms facing each other. Visualize a palm tree and hold the new japa Shivoham as you continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. Mahamudra Bhadrakono Tadasana Vedakan Vinotanam Sada Kuryat Antarvatni Patipriya. The next asana is Uttanasana as you slowly lean forward and down, then placing the hands by the feet and the head as close to the body as possible. Visualize Swamiji and continue to hold the Mahamudra Bandha. Mahamudra Bhadrakono Tadasana Vedakan Vinotanam Sada Kuryat Antarvatni Patipriya. The next asana is Tarakshvasana as you slowly come down to a plank posture with your hands shoulder width apart and your body straight. Then tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and turn it from side to side. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gajasana vasitva mastakam varam varam dakshina kuksham sapi kuksham nayetarashvasanam bhavati. The next asana is Bhujangasana. Now slowly lower down your body on your stomach and keep the hands by the chest. Then stretch your toes back, and with the strength of the lower back, raise your upper body and open your mouth wide and inhale through the hollow of the mouth and then exhale through the nose in Bhujangani Mudra. Visualize a cobra in your inner space. Angushtanabhiparyantam madhobhumam vinised karabhyam chadaram dattva udashisha panivahi. The next asana is Shashasana. Now raise back up into a plank posture and start alternate bringing one knee to the chest. Repeat this again and again as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gajasana samsitau janudvayamakuncha varam varam kartavyam shashasanam bhavati. The next asana is Rathasana. Now alternate placing one foot between the palms as you start performing the Saja Kumbhaka, which is inhaling, holding the breath and exhaling comfortably. Visualize a chariot. Gajasana samsitau ekaikam padam puro margena bhrametva kartavyam Rathasanam bhavati. Now relax as you place one foot forward and the other foot back in Virabhadrasana. Then place the forward foot toe pointing forward and the back foot toe pointing sideways. Now bend your forward knee in a 90-degree angle and raise your hands above the head, keeping the palms parallel to each other. Visualize Lord Virabhadra, gaze at the third eye and perform the Udyana Bandha. Vashishtamata Kaundyam Uttavakkutameva Ashtavakramato Tanam Mayuram Setu Bandhanam. Now perform Virabhadrasana on the opposite side as you switch the position of your feet and visualize Lord Virabhadra. Gaze at the third eye and continue to hold the Udyana Bandha. Uttana Padam Crown Chancha Maricham Virabhadrakam Natarajam Trikonam Chasuptangushta Prasarane. The next asana is Vrikshasana. Now stand tall with both the feet together. Then raise one foot and place it in the inner thigh. Then bring both the palms together in front of the heart center and raise it above your head. Visualize a tree and continue to hold the Udyana Bandha. Vamo Ramola Deshecha Yamyam Padam Nidaito Tishtet Vrikshavat Bhuva Vrikshasanam Midam Vidaho. The next asana is Garudasana. Now place the raised leg on the opposite thigh near the hip of the opposite thigh. Visualize Lord Garuda in your inner space and keep both the hands together in front of your heart center. Garudasana vakshe Nithyanam Sinambhavi Sarvadoshadvinir Mukta Bhavatiya Mahabali. The next asana is Vrikshasana on the opposite side. Now lower the raised foot and raise the opposite foot and place it in the inner thigh of the other leg. Bring both the palms together in front of the heart center and raise it above your head. Visualize a tree. Continue to hold the Udyana Bandha. Vamo Ramola Deshecha Yamyam Padam Nidaito Tishtet Vrikshavat Bhuma Vrikshasanam Midam Vidaho. The next asana is Garudasana on the opposite side. Now place the raised leg on the opposite hip as you keep both the palms together in Namaskara Mudra. Visualize Lord Garuda in your inner space. Garudasana vakshe Yenadhyanam Sinambhavi Sarvadoshanvinurmukta Bhavatiya Mahabali. The next asana is Trikonasana. Now place one leg forward and the other leg back. Then keep the forward leg toes pointed forward and the back foot facing sideways. Now raise the hands parallel to the ground and lean forward, placing it near the front foot. Keep the other hand stretched up high and gaze at the sky. Visualize a triangle in your inner space. Uttana Padam Crown Chancha Maricham Virabhadrakam Natarajam Trikonam Chasuptangushta Prasarane. The next asana is Trikonasana on the opposite side. Now just switch the position of the feet and then lean forward and down as you place the hand near the forward leg. Visualize a triangle and gaze at the sky. Uttana Padam Crown Chancha Maricham Virabhadrakam Natarajam Trikonam Chasuptangushta Prasarane. Now we come to the fourth karna of the sequence, which is Nikutaka karna. Now again come to a half squatting position with the knees bent, heels touching and toes pointed out. This time place both the palms parallel to each other and in front of your heart. Now raise one knee and simultaneously raise the opposite knee and switch the position of the hands. Repeat this again and again on both sides as you visualize Paramashiva. Yes, now we can move to the next asana, which is Angushtasana. Now squat on your heels and keep the knees together and the palms together in front of the heart center in Namaskar Mudra. Visualize Swamiji and start performing the new Kumbhaka for the following asanas, which is Brahmari Kumbhaka. Inhale and exhale, making a bee-like sound, buzzing. Hold the new japa Sadashivoham in your inner space. Kabanda asanamittyaho gorakshasanamevacha angushtamushtikam yayam brahmaprasadidam tata. The next asana, Saurasana. Now stretch one leg forward and place the hands by your side with the palms facing forward and fingers touching the ground. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Prasar ekam padalam samstapyatveka padakam. The next asana is Vidhunanasana. Now, with the respective hand of the stretched leg, hold the big toe of the stretched leg in Prana Mudra, and with the respective hand of the back leg, hold the heel with the respective hand. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gulpastito padamekam prasarya tatpadakam samsidya tatkarena. The next asana, Saurasana on the opposite side. Now switch the position of the feet, stretching the opposite leg forward and bending the other leg. Now place your hands by your side with the palms facing forward and fingers touching the ground. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Prasarya ekam padalam samstaditeka padakam. Now we perform Vidhunanasana on the opposite side as you hold the stretched leg's big toe in Prana Mudra with the respective hand and the back leg's heel with the respective hand. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gulpastito padamekam prasarya tatpadagam samsidya tatkarena gulpam chanim dharya tatkarena dunam pitam chabhise jobhayatra. The next asana is Brahmacharankushasana. Now bring both the feet back under the perineum and sit on the heels with the knees slightly apart and the back of the palms on the respective knee. Tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and gaze at the floor. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Do panapani hoi vese edi do gora vese korpakadalya ki mahili aise mahera semili. The next asana is Kapilasana. Now place the knees on the mat and place the palms on the respective knee. Visualize the great sage Kapila. Tuck your stomach in and up in Uddiyana Bandha and gaze at the nose. Ubay pakadali samata harave tinki mahili kor milave panapani ukura hoi vese eri do joni nivese. The next asana is Bhadragorakasana. As you keep the body and hands in the same posture, just switch the gaze to the third eye and release the Uddiyana Bandha. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. दो भगदली संपट करे कोरवारली भूपतिद्रे कोरवारली लाके ऐसे तापरी मूल द्वार टिकबे से. The next asana is Suryasana. Now raise your knees off the ground and keep the soles of the feet together as you sit on the heels. Then bring the little finger and thumb together, opening the palms wide like a lotus, and raise your hands above the head and gaze to the gap of the palms. Visualize Lord Surya and perform the Uddiyana Bandha. एडी दो गुरातरियाने पना पानी बेटक पुनिताने गोड़ा जंग आदे करे रहे आड़े बामिसी विदिगहे. The next asana is Mandukasana. Now place the knees on the ground and sit on flat heels. Place your palms on the respective knee and visualize a frog. Gaze at the third eye and perform the Manduki Mudra, rolling the tongue up and pressing the back of the tongue against the upper palate. Visualize a frog in your inner space. पादतलौ पृष्ठदेशे अंगुष्ठद्वे च संस्पृशे ध्यानं युग्नं पुरस्कृत्य साधयन् Mandukasanam. The next asana is Uttana Mandukasana. As you keep your legs in the same posture and be seated, raise your hands above your head and cross them, touching the opposite shoulder from the behind. Visualize a frog, gaze at the third eye and continue to hold the Manduki Mudra as you also engage the Uddiyana Bandha. Mandukasana madhyastam kurparabhyam shiram ditah etad bekavaduttanam etaduttanam mandukam. The next asana is Simhasana. Now cross the ankles and sit on the crossed heels. Now visualize a lion and gaze at the nose and place your hands on the respective knee as you lean forward and stick your tongue out, exhaling forcefully. Dakshinam savyagulpena dakshineta etaram hastau jano samstapya swangulishcha prasaricha. The next asana is Bhadrasana. Now uncross the ankles and sit on the heels with the toes flat. Then cross your hands behind the back and hold the opposite big toe in Prana Mudra. Visualize Swamiji, gaze at the nose and tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Gulpau chaprasana syado yukrimesam ahitaha padam gushtokara byamcha dhritva chapristadeshitaha. The next asana is Kakabusandiyasana. Now come to a squatting posture as you keep both the feet together flat on the mat. Now from the inside, wrap your knees around and interlace the fingers behind the back, visualizing a crow. Gaze at the nose. प्रथमे वेसगोट्राने दो हाथ पग बीच आने तिनकी मोड़ी नलिया परिलावे पिष्ट पचे कांकसी करावे. The next asana is Khani Pavasana. Now place your hands on the mat shoulder width apart and place the knees on the back of the palms near the armpits. Then slowly lean forward on the hands and lift the legs up. Then raise the legs as close to the buttocks as you balance on the hands. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Asana ko kunasi dista hoi to achi hoi. The next asana is Kapali Asana. Now come down and then keep your hands more than shoulder width apart. This is an inverted asana. I want to mention to all the participants who have any body related ailments, terminal diseases, heart conditions or shoulder, back or any major injury, to not perform this asana without consulting your doctor or physician. For the rest of the participants, you can take the support of the wall or a partner to perform any of these inverted asanas. Now place your hands more than shoulder width apart on the mat and the crown in between of the palms, making a triangle with the head and hands. Then raise your legs and place them on the hands as you find balance. Slowly raise your legs up, straightening the knee and coming to a headstand. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. शीशी शीशा धरती टेकी पगदुवो मिलवा ऊंचा गुकरे पगदली आसी दिशता समुरासे दो हाथा की हथेली दो. The next asana is Parshamayurasana. Now from this asana we'll be performing the following kumbhaka for the following asanas, which is Rechaka Kumbhaka. In exhale completely, hold your lungs empty comfortably and then inhale again. Now come to a squatting posture and place your hands on one side of the body, aligning the elbows to the knees and hips. Then lean onto the hands and stretch the legs to the side, visualizing a peacock and gazing at the nose. Mayuram dandavat kuryan, mayuram dandanamkam kuryan, mayuram parshvabhyam, mayura parshanamakam. The next asana is Parshamayurasana on the opposite side. Now come back to the squatting position and place your hands on the other side of the body, aligning the elbows to the hands and knees. Then slowly lean onto the hands and stretch the legs to the side as you visualize a peacock in your inner space. Mayuram dandavat kuryan, mayuram dandanamkam kuryan, mayuram parshvabhyam, mayura parshanamakam. The next asana is Bhairagnathasana. Now come to a plank posture and place one foot between the palms. Visualize Lord Kalabhairava and gaze at the nose, gaze at the third eye and continue to hold the japa Sadashivoham in your inner space. Asana ko gunu jolo jaye. The next asana is Bhairagnathasana on the opposite side. Now place the other foot between the palms and visualize Kalabhairava, gaze at the third eye. Asana ko gunu piti jayi. The next asana is Unmukha Pitasana. Now come back to a plank posture and place the forearms on the mat. Then raise the hips up high, visualize Swamiji and gaze at the third eye. Bhunyasthaujani hasto chadushpatam vanmukam utta pitangru yuglat chaduspadam biruka. The next asana is Vashishthasana on one side. Now come back to a tall plank position and roll onto one hand, stretching the other hand towards the sky and gaze at the sky as well. Visualize the great sage Vashishta in your inner space. Uddha Kukkada Vashishta Marichahala Matchakambari Vittam Chodrasya Vidam Rasanam. Now roll on to the opposite side as you perform Vashishthasana on the other side. Stretch the other hand towards the sky and gaze at the sky as well as you continue to visualize the great sage Vashishta and gaze at the sky. Uddha Kukkada Vashishta Marichahala Matchakambari Vittam Chodrasya Vividam Rasanam. The next asana is Anjani Asana. Now come to a seated posture as you stretch the legs forward and keep the toes pointing up. Insert your hands under the buttocks and visualize Lord Hanuman. Tuck the chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and gaze at the nose. Start holding the new japa Mahasadaशिवोहम in your inner space. दो करा की उबे हथेली कोरवारली में ले भेली सो आगाने बुपरिदा से महाने अंगुली में लिला से. The next asana is Paschimottanasana. Now stretch, keeping both the legs stretched, hold the respective big toe in Prana Mudra, leaning forward, placing the forehead as low on the knee as possible and bringing the body as close to the legs. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Start performing the Mahamudra Bandha. Janu Barillatam tu Paschimam Tanu Muchite Yena Kena Prakarena Sukam Darim Chajayate. The next asana Zugrasana. Now raise up and keep the legs in the same posture as you interlace your hands behind the head and slowly lean forward, placing the forehead on the knees and the elbows outside the knees. Visualize Lord Kali in your Goddess Kali in your inner space and perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Sobanipyandram Ditva Janoparishi Asana Grividam Proktam Bavedanil Deepanam. The next asana is Marichi Asana on one side. Now pull one leg towards the perineum and keep the knee raised. Now from the inside, wrap the raised knee and interlace both the hands behind the back as you visualize the great sage Marichi in your inner space. Uttanapadam Crown Chancha Maricham Veera Bhadrakam Natrajam Trikonam Cha Saptangushta Prasarane. The next asana is Mahamudrasana. Now place the raised knee on the mat and lean forward, holding the stretched leg with both the hands and place the forehead on the knee. Visualize Swamiji and perform Mahamudra Bandha. Gaze at the nose. Mahamudram Pravakchasmi Tantresmin Mama Allabe Yampra Bisiddha Siddhim Cha Kapiladya Puragataha. The next asana is Marichi Asana on the opposite side. Now stretch the bent leg and bend the opposite leg, placing the foot by the perineum. Now from the inside, wrap the raised knee and interlace both the hands outside behind the back. Visualize great sage Marichi in your inner space. Uttanapadam Crown Chancha Marichim Veera Bhadrakam Natrajam Trikonam Cha Saptangushta Prasarane. The next asana is Mahamudrasana. Now place the raised knee on the mat and hold the stretched leg with both the hands, placing the forehead on the knee. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the nose as you perform the Mahamudra Bandha. Mahamudram Pravakchami Tantresmin Mama Vallabe Yampra Bisiddha Siddhim Cha Kapiladya Puragataha. The next asana is Bhadrasana 2. Now bring the soles of the feet together and keep them as close to the perineum as possible. Hold the respective foot. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gaze at the third eye. Gulpo Devrishana Syado Shivanya Pashvayokshibet Path Pashvenupadanbyam Dhritam Badva Sunischalam. The next asana is Ghwali Pavasana. Now stretch the legs away from the perineum slightly and place the hands on the respective knee. Tuck the chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha and gaze at the nose. Purvachar Padachokahya Sohi Vahi Vidyoki Jisohi Yame Edi Binnajarase Angula Atarantra Rase. The next asana is Joni Asana. Now pull the feet back to the perineum as close as possible as you can and hold the respective foot with the hand. Now place the elbows on the ground next to the shins and place the forehead on the feet. Visualize the Yoni Mandala. Gaze at the nose. Do Pagdali Samprakare Sol Edi Merkating Gadare Ardhahantko Antarrase Lalatapakatalya Uparadase. The next asana is Mirki Pavasana. Now raise up and stretch the feet far away from the perineum. Then stretch the hands parallel to the ground and lean forward, placing the hands by the side and the forehead on the heels. Visualize Swamiji. Gaze at the nose. Purava Vidhi Pari Pagatali Samput Soli Edi Milira Se Yedayasu Mahli Kani Angulado Antarillati Datti Lagave. The next asana is Siddha Samadhi Asana. Now raise up and pull the feet as close to the perineum as possible and insert the hands underneath the shins, keeping the palms facing upwards. Then place the neck in front of the toes, making the toes touch the neck. Visualize Lord Surya and gaze at the nose. Do Pagdali Sampudakare Solimed Aga Metare Angula Ata Antarase Edi Ese Vididase. The next asana is Chinki Pavasana. Now raise up and remove the hand from under the shins and hold the respective foot with the thumbs touching the sole and the palm and the other fingers behind the foot. Then open the feet like a book and place the elbows by the knees. Visualize Swamiji in your space and gaze at the nose. Do Pagati Yedi Dati Magva Mede Lagave Pagatili Mahili Kor Anguta Sudai Sudi Jode. The next asana is Charapat Chokasana. Now place your feet as close to the perineum as possible and the hands on the respective knee. Then gently press the knees towards the ground and pull the stomach in and up in Uddiyana Bandha. Gaze at the third eye and visualize Swamiji. Do Pagadali Sampudare Agane Jare Karijare Pasare Goda Buso Lagtarase Hatado Goda Paridase. The next asana is Bhairavasana. Now lift your toes and raise the heels, keeping the toes on the mat. Try to keep your knees as low on the ground as possible and the hands in Bindu Mudra. Then keep your knees on the ground if possible. Visualize Kala Bhairava and pull your stomach in and up in Uddiyana Bandha. Gulpo Sampidi Chananyam Yurkamena Samahitaha Jano Pashagado Hasto Dandavat Bhairavasanam. The next asana, Samanasana. Now relax the heels on the mat and keep one heel by the perineum and raise the other leg towards the chest with both the hands. Visualize Swamiji in your space, gaze at the third eye, and continue to perform the Rechaka Kumbhaka. Samanasana Vakshe Siddhamantra Disadna Ekapadamaro Gatva Guhyonya Linga Vattake. The next asana is Apanasana. Now place the raised leg on the respective shoulder and stretch the opposite leg up and straight. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the third eye. केवलं पादमेकं स्कन्धे चारोभ्यः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठेत दन्तवत्प्रभो. The next asana is Samanasana on the opposite side as you place the other leg by the perineum and raise the opposite leg towards the chest and hold it with both the hands. Visualize Swamiji in your space and gaze at the third eye. Samanasana Vakshe Siddhamantra Sadnad Ekapadamaro Gatva Guhyonya Linga Vatrake. The next asana is Apanasana on the opposite side. Now place the raised leg on the respective shoulder and stretch the opposite leg straighten up. Keep the hands by the side for balance. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and gaze at the third eye. केवलं पादमेकं स्कन्धे चारोभ्यः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठेत दन्तवत्प्रभो. The next asana is Gomakasana. Now cross the feet and stack the knees in the center of the body, interlacing the fingers on the top knee, keeping the heels by the hips. Visualize a cow, gaze at the nose and start performing the Sitkari Kumbhaka, which is inhaling through the clenched teeth and exhaling through the nose. Start holding the new japa Om Nithyanandoham in your inner space. Savya Dakshina Gulpanto Prishtapashve Niyoje Dakshine Pitata Savyam Gomakam Gomakam Yata. The next asana is Anusuyasana. Now, keeping the legs in the same posture, hold the opposite big toe in Prana Mudra. Then visualize Rishika Anusuya and pull your stomach in and up in Uddiyana Bandha. दक्षिण गौरव निकोट आने वामोता के ऊपर आने गोड़ा संधि मिलावे बारी आड़ा अपनी बड़ी दे संधि पसारी. The next asana is Anusuyasana 2. Now interlace the hands behind the back and lean forward and down, placing the nose on the ground. Visualize Rishika Anusuya, gaze at the nose and release the Uddiyana Bandha. जीमना गोड़ा की संधि उपरिदावा गोड़ा की संधि मिलावी रासे गोड़ा सोले पगदलिया सो आरवाई सुदारा से. The next asana is Garudasana 2. Now raise up and place one foot by the perineum and the opposite foot flat on the mat with the knee to the chest. Place your hands on the respective knee and visualize Lord Garuda as you gaze at the nose. Dava pagumodi yedi mahilam gulpar mula dwarini chede bese jimani pagdali dati teki goda unja ubarase. The next asana is Naradasana. Now turn outside of the raised knee as you interlace the fingers behind the head and sit on the heel touching the perineum. Visualize the great sage Narada and gaze at the third eye. Pura Bishtijuvam Pagdali Keri Bubarita Hilaga Veperi Goda Soro Pano Hoijoi Dachipa Sidira Sesoi. The next asana is Matsyapitakasana. Now place the heel which you are sitting on the opposite heel and keep the other leg raised. Then with the respective hand hold the shin of the opposite foot and with the other hand hold the respective big toe. Visualize the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu and continue to gaze at the nose. Vame navamangushtrantu grihitam matsapinakam yoni vame sampidya medrada paridakshinam. The next asana is Gomukhasana on the opposite side. Now again cross the heels and keep the knees stacked with the fingers interlaced on the top knee. Keep the heels outside of the hips and visualize a cow as you continue to gaze at the nose. Savya Dakshina Gulpanto Prishabashve Niyoje Dakshine Epitata Savyam Gomakam Yata. The next asana is Anusuyasana. Now hold the opposite big toes in Prana Mudra as you visualize the Rishika Anusuya. Pull your stomach in and up in Uddiyana Bandha as you continue to gaze at the nose. दक्षिण गोड़ो नी कोटाने वामोता के ऊपर आने गोड़ा संधि मिलावे बारी आड़ा पुनी बड़ी दे संधि पसारी. The next asana is Anusuyasana 2. Now interlace the hands behind the back and lean forward and down, placing the nose on the ground. Visualize Rishika Anusuya, gaze at the nose and pull your stomach and release the Uddiyana Bandha. Jimana Goda ki sandhi, Uparidava Goda ki sandhi, Goda Sole Pagdalya Lo Advai Sudara se. The next asana is Garudasana 2. Now raise up and place one foot by the perineum and the opposite foot flat on the mat with the knee by the chest. place the hands on the respective knees and visualize Lord Garuda as you gaze at the nose. Dovapagmodi Mahinam Gulpamuladvarni Chede Jibese Jimini Pakatali Dati Take Goda Uja Uborase. The next asana is Naradasana. Now interlace the hands behind the neck and sit on the heel touching the perineum. Turn outside of the raised knee and visualize the great sage Narada. Gaze at the third eye. Pistichuvam Pagdili Keri Buprita Hilaga Veperi Goda Saubapano Hey Joy Jatipasira Hesoi. The next asana is Matsyapitaka on the opposite side. Now place the heel which you are sitting on the opposite hip and keep the other leg raised with the respective hand of the leg on the opposite thigh. Hold the opposite shin and with the other hand hold the respective big toe. Visualize the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu. Vamena Vamangushtanto Grihitam Matsapitakam Yoni Vamena Sambirya Medradapadakshinam. The next asana is Matsendrasana. Now keeping the legs in the same posture, place the knee with the leg which is on the opposite thigh on the ground and turn outside of the raised knee, placing the elbow on the raised knee and then on the respective ear. Place the other hand flat on the mat behind you as you turn back and gaze at the third eye. Visualize the great sage Matsendranath in your inner space. Udaram Paschima Bhasam Kritva Tishteti Yatnadaha Namrangam Vamapadam Hi Dakshidanu Parinyasete. The next asana is Kubasana. Now place the hand which is touching the respective ear and hold the opposite big toe and with the other hand place it on the respective ear as you visualize a camel and gaze at the third eye. Asana Gogana Jolo Jaye. The next asana is Matsendrasana 2. Now place the hand which was touching the respective ear back on the mat. Visualize the great sage Matsendranatha in your inner space. Matsendra Pitam Jhatra Pradiptim Prachandra Rukmandala Kandanastram Abhyasada Kundalini Prabodham Dandastahi Dadahi Pumsam. The next asana is Matsendrasana on the opposite side. Now place one leg on the opposite thigh and keep the other leg bent and then turn outside of the raised knee and place the elbow on the raised knee and then on the respective ear, keeping the other hand flat on the mat behind you. Turn back and gaze at the third eye as you visualize the great sage Matsendranatha. Udaram Paschima Vasam Kritva Tishtiyate Ataha Namragam Vamapadam Hi Dakshajanu Parinyasete. The next asana is Kubasana. Now place the hand which is touching the respective ear and hold the opposite big toe and with the hand which is placed behind touch the respective ear. Visualize a camel and gaze at the third eye. Asana Gogono Jolo Jaye. The next asana is Matsendrasana 2. Now place the raised hand back on the mat and visualize the great sage Matsendranatha as you gaze at the third eye. Matsendra Pitam Jhatra Pradiptim Prachandra Rukmandala Kandanastram Abhyasada Kundalini Prabodham Dandastahi Dadahi Pumsam. The next asana is Padmasana. Now place the feet on opposite thighs and the hands on the palms on the respective knee. Visualize Paramashiva, gaze at the nose and perform the Mahamudra Bandha as you hold the new japa Om Nithyananda Mahasadaशिवोहम. Asanam Devidam Proktam Padmam Majjasanam Dada Udo Ripadiche Uvepadadeta. The next asana is Padmasana 2. Now cross the hands and hold the respective big toes in Prana Mudra. Visualize the goddess Parvati in your inner space. Uttano Charano Kurtva Uru Samstao Prayatnataha Uru Madhyakado Tano Pani Krita Tadrisho. The next asana is Kukutasana. Now insert your hand through the gaps of your thighs and calves and then raise your body up. Then visualize a rooster and start performing the Sahaja Kumbhaka, which is inhaling, holding the breath and exhaling comfortably. Padmasanam samstapya nanurvarantare karo nivesha bhuma vasishtet vyomastak Kukutasana. The next asana is Bhaddakeki asana. Now remove your hands from the gaps of the thighs and calves and raise onto your knees. Then place your palms flat on the mat with the fingers pointing backwards. Then lean forward, place the navel on the elbows as you slowly raise the knees off the ground and then visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Dharamavashtebhya karadvayen tatkur paristaniya tabipashva uchasano dandevitaktika kyemayurmetam pavidanti pitam. The next asana is Mayurasana. Now relax down and open the feet. Then come to a kneeling posture and keep the hands in the same posture. Then slowly lean forward and place the navel again on the elbows and then raise the legs off the mat, visualizing a peacock. Ata Vakshe Mahadeva Mayurasana Muttam Bhumau Nipadi Hastaddo Kurparopari Dehakam. Now relax down on your stomach and interlace your hands behind the neck and open the feet wide apart. Visualize a crocodile in your inner space and continue to perform the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Adhyasisete hridayam nidaya bhumau cha padau cha prasarimano shirshatitvā karadundayagme dehanikaram makarasanam thate. The next asana is Shalabhasana. Now keeping the hands by the chest, bring the feet together and then raise the feet from the thighs off the ground. Visualize a locust in your inner space. Adhyasisete karigma vakshobhumi mashtabhya karayostalabhyam padau cha seunye cha vridasti chodvam vadanti pitam shalabam munindraha. The next asana is Ushtrasana. Now bend the knees and bring the feet to the buttocks and then hold the feet with the respective hand. Then pull the feet down to the ground as low as possible outside of the hips. Visualize a camel in your inner space. Adhyasete padayugmam vastam priste nidapya didam karabhyam ad kunchayet samyugadagada kadam uchchantapitam yogi vadanti. The next asana is Dhanurasana. Now keeping the feet bent, hold the feet from the inside and simultaneously lift the thighs and the upper body, bending the back as much as possible, visualizing a bow. Gaze of the third eye. Prasarya pauda bhuvidandarupau karaucha prishte ditapadayugmam kritva dhanustulya vidhastitangram nigadya yogi dhanurasanam tate. Now come to a seated posture in Bhagasana as you sit on the heels with the toes flat and the hands on the respective knee. Visualize Swamiji, gaze at the third eye and hold the new japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. उल्टा मोड़ी पाओ दो वैसे बहुरोक जगदी करे एक वैसे पावन महिला गुलपज जानो कुलापा सिदिला वैसो. The next asana is Gohyasana. Now place, this is an inverted asana, so you can take the support of the wall or a partner. Now place your forearms on the mat and interlace the fingers. Then place the forehead between the interlaced fingers. Then lift the knees off the ground and walk the feet forward, stacking the heels and the shoulders, and then stretch the legs up towards the sky. Visualize Swamiji and gaze at the nose. हाथ दो हाथ की कहो निजोई पुनिह करा ले दाए दो पुष्ट आगा की पुनि जानो ऐसे सबले भूपरितानो. The next asana is Shirasasana. Now keeping the body in the same posture, slowly stretch the knees and straighten the legs up. Balance as you visualize Swamiji and gaze at the nose. Viparitam mandalam cha didev viditam hina dandasanam diva proktam viparitopavenase se. The next asana is Podhyasana. Now come to a seated posture, and from this asana we'll be performing the Bhastrika Kumbhaka, which is intense exhalations. Now place the hands behind the calves and stretch the legs up and straighten the knees. Then try to place the forehead on the knees as you visualize Swamiji. Continue to perform the Bhastrika Kumbhaka. दो हाथ पग बह आने गोड़ा तरे कांग सीटाने अंगुष्ट पंडली लगता दारे चरण उबे आसा दिशि करे. The next asana is Parigasana. Now place the legs on the mat and then cross the hands behind the back and hold the opposite shoulder. Visualize a mace in your inner space and gaze at the third eye as you continue to perform the Bhastrika Kumbhaka. Uttana shainam kritva pado militva prasarya rinambam bhumau sprishya hasta abhyam kandram dritva. The next asana is Naukasana. Now rest the legs on the mat and then stretch the hands parallel to the ground or place the forearms on the ground near the hips. Then stretch the legs to a 45-degree angle and visualize a boat as you gaze at the third eye. Uttana shainam kurparabhyam bhumimashtabhyastabhyam nidambam nityam. The next asana is Rudrasana. Now place the feet on the mat and the soles together. Insert the hands from under the shins and then hold the feet, then raising the feet to the chest. Balance as you visualize Lord Rudra and gaze at the nose. Pagdali samput kare hastasya paga ucha paga anguta do le parlika nitalave. The next asana is Unmukha Pītāsana. Now lie on the back and place the feet flat on the mat with the knees raised. Visualize Swamiji. Tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Inhale and exhale in Murcha Kumbhaka, which is inhaling and exhaling through the Jalandhara Bandha. Lift your hips up and gaze at the third eye as you visualize Swamiji. Udveta janani kritva shavitva namukam thata uttapya hastau tishthetu pita unmukha namake. Now completely relax your body, stretching your feet and hands by the side with the palms facing up. Visualize Swamiji. Unclutch from your body completely as you see the Kundalini travel from the root center to the crown center in Śakti Chalana Mudra. Completely unclutch from your body. Atashavasanam उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारणम्.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes. bless you all. Let you all.
Now, slowly return to your physical body. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees. Pull your knees up towards your chest and circle it with your hands and rock your body from side to side. And slowly return to a comfortable seated position. Congratulations, you completed the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the first 108 asana of this sequence. Let us now move on with the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, starting off with Yathasa Nishthasana. Now sit in a posture that brings ease to your physical and mental space. Any posture which is comfortable to you is fine. Place your hands on top of the knees in Bindu Mudra with index fingers and thumbs together. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, breathe in Samana Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply into your stomach and visualize a flame rising up your spine. As you perform the Mula Bandha and internally chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, which is going to remain the japa for the rest of this sequence.
Paryantam tat samakyatam yata samstam yata astitihi.
Next up is Samasana. Now sit in a cross-legged posture with your hands on the knees with the thumbs and index fingers touching in Bindu Mudra. Take a long deep inhalation, hold your breath. Then exhale deeply and again inhale and exhale deeply continuously as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Idanim garbhininam yogabhyaso yata lago sukha prasavalabhaya prochyate prattane pati.
Next up is Muktasana. Now place the left foot against the gentle region and the right foot over top of the left. Keep your hands facing downwards on top of your knees as you gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as a sage liberated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Nibidya sivanim sokshmam dakshinetrada gulpadaha vamam yamyena gulpena muktasanamidam bhavet.
Next up is Siddhasana. Maintain the same posture, switch your gaze to the third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Sthanuhmitendriyotsaladrisha pashyan mruvorantaram chaitan mokshakapatabedajanakam siddhasanam prochyate.
Next up is Siddhi Asana. From the same position, switch your gaze to the ground in front of you. Engage all three bandhas, Mahamudra Bandha, as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Vamapadiki edi jano sivani majitasa kauntano.
Next up is Udrasana 2. Keep your legs in the same posture. Rotate your hands on top of your knees back into Bindu Mudra. Index and thumbs together as you switch your gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as Lord Rudra, the fierce dimension of Lord Shiva.
Vamacharna paridachanarake ekajugati eshe vididake.
Next up is Santadhunasana. Maintain the same posture, switch your gaze to your nose and embody tranquility and an unshakable nature.
Asanaki gunamanaki chanchalata meeta.
The next asana is Siddhasana 2. Now place one heel over top of the other and bring your palms to your navel, cupping one palm over the other, resembling a lotus flower in Samputa Mudra, as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Rizukaya samasina siddhasana mudiritam prasarya bhuvipadav dhorpyam angushtamadarat.
Next up is Bandha Yoni Asana. Maintain one heel on top of the other and set the sankalpa to manifest through the womb of creation. As you lock the perineal floor in Mula Bandha, inhale all the way and get ready to enter Shanmukhi Mudra. Close your mouth with little and ring fingers, your nostrils with the middle fingers, the eyes with the index fingers, and your ears with the thumbs.
Yatra madhye mahadeva bandhayonyasane yat kritva kecharo bhutva vichredishvaro yada.
We move on to Virasana. Now place one foot onto the opposite thigh and the other foot below the opposite thigh. Place your hands on the knees in Bindu Mudra and embody the space and state of bravery, Vira.
एकं पादमदैकस्मिन् विन्यस्योरिणि संस्थितः इतरस्मिन् स्थिताचोरं वीरासनमुदीरितम्.
Next up is Valmikasana. Keep the left heel on the right side of the regenerative organ and the toes underneath the thigh as you place the right foot onto the left leg with the toes by the knee. Place your hands on the knees in Bindu Mudra, gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Sage Valmiki, the great poet and author of Ramayana.
Dava pagaki bagadali puni ere he joya.
The next asana is Joni Mudrasana. Now place your hands flat on your knees. Maintain your feet in the same posture. Gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Yoni Mandala, the visual representation of Devi Paramashiva Śakti herself, projected in the top right corner of the screen.
Bamapadiki bagadali jahima hili kori.
Next up is Yoni Asana. Maintain the same posture and visualization as you shift your gaze up towards your third eye.
Yonyasanam parvatena yogam yoga palenilam tatkala palalantavat kecharo yavadevahi.
Next up is Padarasana 3. Now join the soles of your feet and bring the heels close to your perineum. Hold your feet firmly with both hands and pull them close as you visualize Lord Virabhadra in your inner space and gaze to the tip of your nose as you engage Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, and Mula Bandha, the root lock.
Gulpod Vrishanasyadaha Sivanya Parshayonyakshibet Savye Gulpadada Savye Daksha Gulpam to Dakshine.
The next asana is Aghorasana. Keep your heels close to your perineum. Bring your tongue up in Kechari Mudra. Lead it up along your nasal tract, if you can. Otherwise, you can press it up against the palate. Gaze upwards and bring the right hand over top of your mouth and nose. Close your left nostril. Inhale through the right, then close both nostrils. Hold your breath. After some time, exhale through the left nostril and repeat on the other side in Abhyantara Kumbhaka as you visualize yourself as an Aghori.
Purvakaho Bhishrika Joyi Vahi Vidisoki Jesoi.
Next up is Kanari Pavasana. As you bring your feet together in front with the toes together and the heels apart, place your elbows onto your heels. Rest your chin on your hands. Gaze to the tip of your nose. Engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. Exhale all the way and hold your breath in Rechaka Kumbhaka as you visualize yourself as a female elephant drinking water.
Kanari Pavasana Gwali Pavasana Kafyo He Jase Yahu Me Jane Vidite Se.
We move on to Parasana. Now sit with your knees raised off the ground. Bring your arms between the thighs and calves. Interlace your fingers in front in Padasha Mudra as you lift your feet off the mat and balance. Gaze to your nose. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Perform the Mula Bandha.
Stodam Rechayed Vayam Rniswasa Samyutam.
Next up is Gopi Chandasana. Now keep the soles of the feet together and interlock your fingers around the feet as you lift them up against your chest with your chin placed on your fingers. Gaze to the tip of your nose and embody the state and space of a king in Gopi Chandasana.
Purapa Vidibari Bagaka Angota Kata Kuparashe.
Next up is Uddarasana. Again, with the soles of the feet together, bring your arms below the shins and hold your feet from the outside with interlocked fingers. Lift your feet up against your chest. Place your chin on the soles of the feet as you gaze to your nose and visualize your body free from any defects in Uddarasana.
Dovo Bagadali Sambudane, Ube Hastakari Urda Hitane, Angushta Dovo Samadera, Chibukani Cheta Hilagave.
Next up is Bishishtasana. From the same posture, now raise your feet even higher. Bring your feet in front of your face as you visualize yourself excelling in everything.
Dovo Bagadali Jodi Sambudkare.
Relax. Lower your legs down and then raise them up over top of the respective shoulders. Bring your arms beneath the knees and interlock them behind your neck as you visualize yourself as a cobra in Bhujasana.
शीर्षासनं तु विज्ञेयं काक्षासनमतः परं ग्रीवासनं च परमं भुजासनमिहोचयेत्.
Next up is Kalyanasana. With your legs over top of the shoulders, now bring your arms behind your back and interlock them in Parasha Mudra. Reach for the opposite hand as you visualize yourself as a beautiful, auspicious goddess.
द्वौ हाथपगां बिछाने तनको गोडानी चेटाने बहुरिपाकृत्या बाहर लियावे पुनः युगद ऐसे ठहरावे.
The next asana is Sankatasana. Now place the top of the left foot flat on the mat and sit on the left heel. Stack the right knee over top, right heel at the outside of the left hip. Place your hands on opposite knees as you gaze outwards without focusing on any external objects in Vaishnavi Mudra. Visualize yourself as an elegant swan. As you breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama, make an ocean-like sound with your mouth in Sankatasana.
वामपादं चितेर्मूलं संन्यस्य धरणीतले पाददण्डेन याम्येन वेष्टयेद्वामपादकम्.
Next up is Dhenukasana. Now slide the left heel outside the hip, sit on the ground, keep your knees stacked and place both hands on the top knee. Now visualize a cow in your inner space and engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
अनुशागिनगर पञ्चदं वृषीहिलं डगल्यम्नि.
The next asana is Machandrasana. Now place the right foot onto the left thigh and the left foot on the right knee. Now twist your body and bring your left arm behind your back. Reach for the opposite thigh with both hands, and as you catch a hold, twist your body. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
वामजंगवरजनडाने वामहस्तपिष्टीदिशाने बहुरौ दक्षिणपादहे जो यीता की नलजू पकड़े सोई.
Next up is Machandrasana 2. Now untwist your spine, hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra, lean forward and down and place your forehead on the ground. Place your navel towards the knees as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथमजी मनोचरण जो ई वामजंगवरे राखे सो यीता की एडी कड़ी सोल्यावे बहुरौ युगति यह और करावे.
Now rise back up, interlock your fingers in Parasha Mudra and place them on the top knee. As you engage Mahamudra Bandha, all three bandhas, visualize Swamiji, your Guru, in your inner space in Guru Asana.
ऊर्मूले इतरपादस्य कनिष्ठिका प्रदेशे गुल्पं संस्थाप्य.
Now untangle your knees, place the top of the right foot flat on the mat. As you repeat Sankatasana, sit on the right heel, stack your knees and place your hands on opposite knees as you visualize yourself as a swan.
वामपादं चितेर्मूलं संन्यस्य धरणीतले पाददण्डेन याम्येन वेष्टयेद्वामपादकम्.
Slide the right heel outside the hip, sit on the ground, place both hands on the top knee, visualize a cow and engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Dhenukasana on the other side.
अनुशागिनगर पञ्चदं वृषीहिलं डगल्यम्नि.
Now repeat Machandrasana. Place the left foot on the right thigh and the right foot on the left knee. Bring the right arm behind your back. Hold on to opposite thighs as you twist your spine. Gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
वामजंगवरे दक्षिणडाने वामहस्तपिष्टीदिशाने बहुरौ दक्षिणपादहे जो यीता की नलजू पकड़े सोई.
Untwist your spine, hold onto the feet, lean forward and down. Repeat Machandrasana 2.
प्रथमजे मनोचरण जुजो ई मामुजंग बलिरा केसो ई ताकी एडी कड़ी सोल्यावे बहुरव जुगती यह और करावे.
Rise up, interlock your fingers, place them on the top knee. As you engage all three bandhas, visualize your Guru Swamiji in Guru Asana.
और मूले इधर पादस्य कनिष्ठिकापदेशे गुल्पं संस्थाप्य तदेव जानु इधर पादपार्श्विनि संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् हस्तौ सम्मीलयेत् गुरु आसनं भवति.
The next asana is Pashasana. Now place your feet flat on the ground in front and hold on to opposite knees as you pull them close against your chest. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space. As you breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama, bring your tongue up against the palate of your mouth or even higher if you can, and gaze to your third eye.
पातले भूमौ निधाय जानुनि उर्षनिधाय विपरीत हस्ताभ्याम् ऊर्सहित जङ्गे निमध्ये तिष्ठेत् प्रशासनं भवति.
From the same posture, now hold on to opposite wrists with your hand. As you place your chin on the knees and gaze to your nose, visualize being in an abode of bliss in Bodha Shukasana.
दो वो बगदली वो परिदेरे कोरमाहिली ऐसे करे कोरमाहिली उकड़बे से जंगा चाती अग्रनिवेशे.
The next asana is Kurakatasana. Now bring your arms underneath the knees and hold on to opposite elbows. Pull your legs close. Gaze to your nose. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो हाथ बग बाहर लियावे गोड़ा नीचे ले ठहरावे अम्हा समहा ऐसे करे आपस में कोह नि पकड़े.
Next up is Sumati Asana. Maintain the same hold underneath the legs as you cross the right ankle over top the left with the toes pointing upwards. Now gaze to your nose. Keep your tongue in Kechari Mudra and visualize the great sage and Maharishi Sumati in Sumati Asana.
मूलद्वार धरती परिडाने दावा पग बरदज पद आने दाई बागती कोले आवे हाथ एक अमतर ठहरावे.
Next up is Dandasana. Now extend both your legs straight forward, toes pointing up. Raise your arms up above your head, interlock fingers with the wrists pointing outwards. Engage all three bandhas, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in Dandasana.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लगो सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तने पति.
Next up is Arambhasana. Now lean forward and down and hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra with index and middle fingers. Bring your head forward and down in between the knees if you can, and start breathing in Nadi Shodhana, inhaling through one nostril and exhaling through the other without the support of your fingers, cleansing your nadis as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो पग मिलवा पसारी बगा का अंगूठा पकड़े लिलाट गोड़ा लगावे.
Next up is Bidukasana. Now slightly bring your feet apart and raise your knees as you bring your arms underneath the calves and hold onto your feet from the outside. Bring your head as low as you can as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथम में से दो पाऊ पसारी कचुक अर्ध को करण धारे.
The next asana is Jalandhari Bhavasana. Bring the soles of the feet together, feet extended away from the body as you bring your arms underneath the shins, palms facing up, and place your head on your feet. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो एड़ी महिला के दीजे हाथ पसारी.
Next up is Urdhva Paschimottanasana. Now sit with both legs extended and then raise the left leg behind your neck. If you can't bring the leg behind your neck, you can just cross it over your knee or pull it towards your chest. Then lean forward and down and hold onto the front foot with both hands as in Paschimottanasana. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and breathe in Pratyahara Kumbhaka as you visualize the prana is flowing upwards within your body through 9 points as revealed by Mahadeva, which are the soles of the feet, the regenerative organs, the navel, the heart, the throat, the uvula, the center of the eyebrows, the top of the forehead, and the crown of your head.
पश्चिमदानवत् संस्थितिं कृत्वा एकं पादं ग्रीवायां धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् ऊर्ध्व पश्चिमदानं भवति.
Next up is Anantasana. Now lean backwards with your legs still behind your neck. Hold onto the foot with the opposite hand as you keep the opposite leg extended. Gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as infinite or endless and eternal one.
उत्तानशैली एकैकं पायी ग्रीवायां विन्यस्य इतरहस्तेन पावाग्रं गृहीत्वा.
Now roll onto the side of the elbow, holding on to your foot. Rest on your side, gaze to your nose, visualize the upward flowing prana as you feel in complete control in Ankushasana.
उत्तानशयिता एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायां कुर्वन् इतरहस्तं कर्णमूले स्थापयेत् तस्यैव हस्तस्य कोर्परो भूमौ निधाय.
Next up is Dhrushasana. As you lay on your back, pull your knees up against your chest and hold on to opposite knees with your hands as you rock your body from side to side. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानशयनं जानुनी हृदयवस्थम्भा जङ्घासुष्ठिरो ऋणी करद्वये बद्ध्वा सव्यापसव्यं लोडयेत् दृशासनं भवति.
Now repeat Urdhva Paschimottanasana on the other side. Lift the other leg behind your neck and lean forward and down as you visualize Swamiji. Focus on the upward flow of your prana.
पश्चिमदानवत् संस्थितिं कृत्वा एकं पादं ग्रीवायां धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् ऊर्ध्व पश्चिमदानं भवति.
Now repeat Anantasana. Lean back, hold onto the foot behind your head. Straighten the opposite leg, gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as being unending Ananta.
उत्तानशयनी एकैकं पायी ग्रीवायां विन्यस्य इतरहस्तेन पावाग्रं गृहीत्वा.
Now repeat Ankushasana. Roll onto the side, keep holding onto the foot and feel in complete control.
उत्तानशयिता एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायां कुर्वन् इतरहस्तं कर्णमूले स्थापयेत् तस्यैव हस्तस्य कोर्परो भूमौ निधाय.
The next asana is Yoga Nidrasana. As you lie on your back, lift your legs one by one up behind your head. Then hold your hands behind your back, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पादाभ्यां वेष्टयेत् कण्ठं हस्ताभ्यां पृष्ठबन्धनं तन्मध्ये शयनं कुर्याद् योगनिद्रा सुखप्रदा.
Next up is Atmaramasana. While laying on your back, raise your legs towards your head and wrap your hands around the legs, interlacing your fingers behind your neck. Gaze to your nose as you visualize Lord Vishnu blessing you from within.
आत्मराम आसन प्रथम सुदो सोवे.
The next asana is Kuchikasana. Lay on your back and pull your knees up against your chest with the soles of the feet facing upwards. Extend your arms out to the side at shoulder level as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and gaze up towards your third eye.
दो हाथ सीधा सा करे धनुष उबेस पा करे पग ऊंचाई आगाने आने बहरो युगदी यह ऐसे विधिवाने.
Next up is Jata Parivritti. This asana consists of 3 steps. We are going to perform all 3 steps and then repeat them on the other side. Now lay on your back with your knees pulled against your chest and the arms extended outwards at shoulder level. This is the neutral position to which we are going to return in between the repetitions. Now drop one knee to the side, extend the opposite leg straight down. Step 1. Bend both knees to the side. Step 2. Extend both legs to the side, hold onto the feet, and gaze in the opposite direction of the feet. Step 3. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space, perform the Mula Bandha, breathe in Pratyahara Pranayama, focus on the prana flowing upwards within your body. Now return to the center, and then Repeat all the 3 steps on the other side. Step 1. Step 2. And step 3.
परिवृत्तिकोक्षिवाहि त्रिदाहि परिकीर्तकं मध्यकोणं सप्तकोणम् ऊर्ध्वकोणमथापि च.
The next asana is Dviparapita. Now lay on your back and place your feet flat on the mat. Then hold onto your ankles with your hands and push your hips up. Lock your throat in Jalandhara and visualize yourself as sturdy as a bridge as you gaze to your nose and breathe in Murcha Kumbhaka.
प्रतिक्रियायुतं द्वन्द्वा पीठः सर्वबलप्रदं गर्भिणीनां दुर्बलामि इति गार्गी जगादनो.
Next up is Paryankasana. With your feet flat on the mat, bring your arms over top of the respective shoulders, place them on the mat with the fingers pointing towards your body, and then push your entire body off the ground and visualize yourself as sturdy as stone furniture. Bring your hands closer to your feet if you can and breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
उत्तानशयनं हस्तलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य पातलाभ्यां भूमिं धृत्वा नाभिप्रदेशम् ऊर्ध्वं कुर्यात् पर्यङ्कासनं भवति.
Now lower your body down to the ground and pull your knees against your chest as you hold onto the respective shoulders with your hands. Move your hips in a circular motion as you visualize yourself as a dog playfully rolling around on its back in Shvottanasana.
शववच्चरीरं संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां बाहु परस्परं धृत्वा.
Now place your arms flat next to your hips and raise your hips and legs up straight in Viparita Karani. Then move your legs in a circular motion as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and breathe in Mocha Kumbhaka with Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha engaged.
अदविपरीतकर्णी मुद्रा भूतले सुशिरौ दत्त्वा.
Now stop the movement of your legs. Perform Viparita Karani too as you visualize Swamiji.
करणी विपरीताख्या सर्वादिव्यादिनाशिनी नित्यम् अभ्यासयुक्तस्य जाठराग्निविवर्धने.
Now lower your hips and legs down and then bring your feet up over top of your head and place the toes down on the ground above you. Keep your hands behind your back and interlock your fingers in Padusha Mudra. Push them into the mat as you visualize yourself as a plow in Langalasana.
ग्रीवाकण्ठेन भूमिं विस्तम्भ पादाग्रद्वयम् ऊर्ध्वमुन्नयेत् नरकासनं भवति. नरकासने स्थित्वा नासिकाप्रदेशेन भूमौ पादपृष्ठे संस्थाप्य हस्तद्वयं सम्मील्य लम्बीकुर्यात्. ग्रीवाप्रदेशेन भूमिं कर्षयेत्. लाङ्गलासनं भवति.
We move on to Shaita Paschimottanasana. Now maintain your feet in the same position and hold onto the feet with your hands. Keep your arms and legs straight. This is one of the 84 different asanas revealed directly by Lord Paramashiva himself. Breathe in Mocha Kumbhaka. Visualize Paramashiva in your inner space.
तानं शयित्वात् कुर्वीत शयितपश्चिमतानकम्.
The next asana is Supta Konasana. From the same position, now bring your hips above the shoulder level and then open your legs wide as you keep holding onto the feet. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you do so.
परिवृत्तिकोक्षिवाहि त्रिदाहि परिकीर्तकं बद्धकोणं सुप्तकोणम् ऊर्ध्वकोणमथापि च.
Now join your feet back together. Hold on to your ankles with your hands as you roll onto your back, keeping your arms and legs straight as you visualize yourself as a chakra, a wheel in Chakrasana.
शवासनस्तद्वौ पादौ कुर्यान्मस्तकतः परौ व्युत्क्रमेण ततः शीघ्रम् एतत् सर्वस्य साधनं चक्रासने गुल्मप्लीहा वातरोगादिनाशनम्.
The next asana is Supta Prasarita Padangushtasana. As you raise your legs vertically, hold on to the big toes, and then open your legs wide to the side as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, and breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama, making an ocean-like sound in your mouth.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Now join your feet back together above your body. Keep the legs vertical as you visualize Swamiji in Supta Padangushtasana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
From Supta Padangushtasana, now cross your legs into Padmasana and lay flat on your back as you raise your arms above your head and hold on to opposite elbows. Now gaze to your nose and visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu.
मुक्तपद्मासनं कृत्वा उत्तानशयनाच्चरेत् कूर्पराभ्यां शिरो वेत्स्य मत्स्यासनं दुरोगः.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. We are back. Let us continue with the next asana of the sequence. Lay down on your back with your legs in Padmasana and your arms above your head as you place the back side of the right hand onto the left palm, palms facing up. As you visualize Lord Rama in your inner space, gaze at the tip of your nose in Parasharamasana.
प्रथमकरे पद्मासन आचे सूदोसो वेबु परिपाचे घोड़ा अर्जंगाये दोवु भूसो लगताराशे सोई.
Next up, Sarvangasana. As you lay on your back with your legs in Padmasana, raise your hips and legs up off the ground and place your hands at the lower back for support. Balance on your elbows as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
अतव क्षेत्र संक्षेपात् सर्वांगासनमुत्तमं यत्कृत्वा योगनिपुनो विद्याभिः पंडितो यदा अधो निधाय शीर्षा च ऊर्ध्वपादो यदाचरेत् पद्मासनं तु तत्रैव भूमौ कूर्परयुग्मकम्.
Next up is Vrishikasana. Now lay on your back and place one foot onto the opposite thigh as you pull the opposite knee towards your chest. Extend your arms up above your head with the fingers hooked forward. Gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a scorpion.
प्रथमशयन सूदो शीशकेशकी संधि सुदाके.
Now exchange the position of your feet. Repeat Vrishikasana on the other side.
प्रथमशयन सूदो शीशकेशकी संधि सुदाके.
The next asana is Vrishapadakshipasana. Lay down flat on your back and interlock your fingers behind your neck. As you lift both your legs off the ground, alternate pulling one knee in towards your chest back and forth as you visualize Swamiji and breathe calmly through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
उत्तानशयनं कृत्वा अनुलम्बिः कन्दरां बद्ध्वा कूर्परो मिलित्वा नितम्बेन भूमिं स्पृष्ट्वा एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकेन पादेन सव्यदक्षिणं भ्रामयित्वा वृषभादक्षेपः भवति.
Next up is Marottanasana. As you lay on your back, keep your hands next to the hips and lift your legs one by one, touching your ears with your knees as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
शोत्तान संस्थित कृत्वा जानद्वयं पर्यायेन कर्णयोः संस्पृशेत् मरोत्तानं भवति.
The next asana is Vrikasana. As you lay on your back, place your feet flat on the mat, and then stand up and lay back down again and again, visualizing yourself as a wolf.
अथ उत्थानशयनं कृत्वा पातलाभ्यां भूमिं धृत्वा उत्तिष्ठेत् वृकासनं भवति.
The next asana is Lutasana. As you lay on your back, quickly throw your legs up above your head and completely roll over again and again, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space and finally ending in a prone position on your stomach.
उत्तानशयनं पादौ शिरौ लङ्गौ भूमौ स्थापयित्वा.
Next up is Saratasana. As you lay on your belly with your toes extended, place your hands on the ground by your shoulders. Contract your lips, make a sound like a flute, whistling while inhaling, as you visualize yourself as a chariot carrying warriors into battle for Dharma on your chariot back.
निब्जं शयनं कृत्वा नाभिं भूमौ निधाय.
Next up is Dehalyulanganasana. Now push your body up into a plank position and jump your feet back and forth in between your hands as you visualize yourself transcend body and mind.
हस्तद्वयं बद्ध्वा तन्मध्ये चरणद्वयम् उड्डानैव बहिरानेय अतः नये देहल्युल्लङ्घनं भवति.
Now rise up and lean forward and down. Place your hands on the mat in front of the feet. Walk around on your hands and feet as you visualize yourself as a wise 60-year-old elephant in Jatyasana.
अथ जाट्यासनं वक्षे येन जाटस्मरो भवेत् हस्तान्ते भूमौ च गमनम् आगमनं ततः.
Next up is Lolitika Karana. As you stand with your knees bent, the heels together, toes pointing outwards, rise your arms up and bend your elbows. Rotate them around your body as you lean back and move your head in all directions. The next asana is Sadapasana. Now stand erect on the mat like a rod. Tie your feet with a rope if you have one available, and then visualize your Kundalini Devi raising and curling upward around your body.
अथ सर्पासनं वक्षे वायुपानाय केवलं शरीरं दण्डवत्तिष्ठेत् रज्जुबद्धस्तु पादयोः यावयी कूडली देवी कूडलाकारमङ्गुले.
The next asana is Ushta Saranasana. Now lean forward and down. Place the back of your hands on the ground and step your feet onto your fingers. As you walk around on the mat, visualizing yourself as a camel.
मुष्टिकनिष्ठिका प्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उभयपातले संस्थाप्य उष्ट्रवत् उष्ट्रसाधनं भवति.
Now from the same posture, hold your feet from the side and walk around on the mat, visualizing yourself as a horse in Ashvasana.
मुष्टिकनिष्ठिका प्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उपरिपातले संस्थाप्य अश्ववत् शरीरं चलनीयम् अश्वासनं भवति.
The next asana is Kapota Nitakasana. Stand with your feet close together and interlock your fingers behind in Padusha Mudra, pulling your hands down towards your calves as you lean back. Tilt your head back, open up your chest widely. Visualize yourself as a soaring bird diving.
पातले भूमौ निधाय पृष्ठभागेन हस्तौ जङ्घापर्यन्तं नीत्वा कपोतनिटकं भवति.
Next up is Thala Pushpaputam Karana. Now stand in Arimandi posture with the heels together, toes pointing outwards and your knees bent. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra and bow down to one side as you open up the palms and raise the respective heel. Now visualize yourself holding a bouquet of flowers and offering it to Paramashiva. The next asana is Khadgasana. As you stand on the mat, visualize yourself as a rhinoceros, gaze to your nose, and then lay down on your stomach and jump your feet back up towards your hand and stand up. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front, symbolizing the horn of the rhinoceros.
मृदा सर्तमासनं कृत्वा पातलाभ्यो भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य उत्तिष्ठेत् खड्गासनं भवति.
Next up is the Uttanottanam. You can hold weights if you want to intensify this asana. As you sit down all the way or as low as you can towards the ground and stand back up again and again, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पुनः पुनः उत्तातव्यम् आसितव्यम् इति उत्तानोत्तानं भवति.
Next up is Musalasana. Now raise your hands up and jump repeatedly as you visualize yourself as a mace.
सर्वं स्थित्वा ऊर्ध्वं बाहु नयेत् वारं वारम् उड्डानं कुर्यात् मुसलासनं भवति.
Next up is Utshirshakasana. Now take one foot and pull it up against your chest as you sit down and stand back up with the opposite leg, alternating on both sides again and again as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
हस्तद्वयेन धृत्वा तिष्ठेत्.
Next up is Parshvajanukarana. Now keep the toes of one foot pointing to the side and bend the knee as you raise the other knee up against your chest. Encircle the raised leg with your hand in a fist as you place the other hand on your inner respective thigh with the fingers pointing inwards. As you Let's move on to Tandavasana. Now, visualize yourself fiercely dancing as Lord Shiva. Hold weights if you want to intensify this asana. As you extend both your arms and one leg forward, sit down and stand back up.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यं ताण्डवासनं भवति.
Next up is Brahmanasana. Now place the left foot on the inner right thigh, stand erect on the mat like a rod, and keep your hands by the sides as you visualize yourself being blessed by Lord Brahma.
ब्राह्मणासनमावक्ष्ये यत् कृत्वा ब्राह्मणो भवेत्.
The next asana is Garudasana 3. Now stand tall and wrap the left leg over and around the right knee. Tuck the left toes behind, bring the left arm below the right and join your hands in Namaskara Mudra as you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda in Garudasana 3.
उत्तानकूर्मपीठं च संहस्गारुडमेव च वातायनं गोमुखं च भारद्वाजं त्रिविक्रमम्.
Next up is Ekapadasana. Now place the left foot onto the right thigh, keep your hands relaxed by the side, and visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you stand one-legged.
दक्षाग्रं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरिनिधाय च.
Next up is Dhruvasana, the post-up posture. Now hold on to the left big toe and extend the leg out to the side as you rotate quickly on the standing leg, visualizing yourself as the North Pole star.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्याग्रं धृत्वा इतरपादं भूमौ निधाय त्वरया ब्राह्मणं कर्तव्यं ध्रुवासनं भवति.
Next up is Trivikramasana. Now raise the left foot behind your neck and stand tall on the mat. Perform the three steps of Lord Vishnu. Visualize Lord Vishnu in your inner space.
ग्रीवायां पादं संस्थाप्य स्थातव्यम् उत्तातव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति.
Now repeat Parshvajanukarana on the other side. Pull the other knee against your chest. Keep the hand in a fist. Now we move on to Tandavasana on the other side. Visualize yourself fiercely dancing as Lord Shiva. Hold weights, sit down and stand back up.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यं ताण्डवासनं भवति.
Now raise the right foot to the inner opposite thigh. Keep the hands relaxed by the side and visualize yourself being blessed by Lord Brahma in Brahmanasana on the other side.
ब्राह्मणासनमावक्ष्ये यत् कृत्वा ब्राह्मणो भवेत्.
Now repeat Garudasana 3. Bring the right leg over top and behind the left, and bring the right arm below as you join your hands in Namaskara Mudra and visualize yourself as Lord Garuda.
उत्तान कूर्मपीठं च संहस्गारुडमेव च
Now repeat Ekapadasana on the other side. Place the right foot onto the left thigh, hands by the side, visualize Swamiji.
दक्षाग्रं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरिनिधाय च
Now repeat Dhruvasana, the post-up posture. Hold onto the right big toe as you extend the leg out to the side and rotate quickly on the standing leg.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्याग्रं धृत्वा
We move on to Triviknamasana on the other side. Now, pull the right leg behind your neck and stand tall and sit down and stand back up as you visualize Lord Vishnu in your inner space.
ग्रीवायां पादं संस्थाप्य स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति
Next up is Samanaka Karana. Now stand erect on the mat. Keep your heels together, toes slightly pointing outwards. Extend your hands away from the hips and point your fingers one by one in this natural position. Relax from this intense sequence of asanas. As we now move on to the final 100 asanas of this sequence, starting off with Gorak Anjali Asana. Now stand erect on the mat and start squatting down. Interlock your fingers behind as you bring the interlocked fingers towards your navel as you squat down all the way. Visualize the great sage Goraknath, founder of the Natha Yoga Hindu Sampradaya. Perform Jiva Chala Kumbhaka. Inhale all the way and move the retained prana up and down and through your limbs by the force of your will.
प्रथमहि उभौ यबाहुरीनी च उपनिहो वे
Next up is Kanchi Asana. As you insert your hands between the thighs and calves and wrap them around behind your butt with interlocked fingers. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Keep your chest upright.
ओर्मध्याधस्तौ निवेश्य नितम्बं धृत्वा पायतलाभ्यां भूमिं मुमौ तिष्ठेत् कञ्च्यासनं भवति
Next up is Bhairo Asana. As you bring your feet together and sit in a squatting posture with your heels touching your perineum. Hold your hands at the back, sit upright and gaze to your navel, visualizing Bhagavan Kala Bhairava, the Lord of Time.
दो पगा की ताल की माहिली कौर मिलावे बना पानी होकर मरो वैसे
Next up is Varahasana. As you squat all the way down with your feet flat, keep your feet together, the toes apart, and join your hands in Anjali Mudra. Bring your hands behind your back with the fingers pointing downwards. Keep your elbows close to your head, your back straight. Gaze to your nose and visualize Varaha, the boar avatar of Lord Vishnu, in Varahasana too.
पगदली की माहिली कौर मिलावे बना पानी होकर मरो वैसे
Next up is Pripitasana. Now hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra. Then raise your hips up to the same level as your knees as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
अत उत्तान आसनानि पार्श्वद्वये सम्मिल्य स्थित्वा नितम्बं जानुप्रदेश आनीय तिष्ठेत् प्रपीठासनं भवति
Next up is Bakasana. Now place your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring your knees onto your arms towards your armpits. Lean forward and down, find balance, lift your feet off the mat as you visualize yourself as a crow.
हस्ताभ्याम् अवनिमवष्टम्ब जानद्वयं नामौ सम्मील्य जङ्घोरे संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् भगासनं भवति
The next asana is Sushtanga Kapali Asana. As you kneel down with your head on the ground, Keep your palms spread for support. Raise your body onto your head and cross your legs into Padmasana. Gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you do so.
Asana kauguna acha kavala acha hoyi.
The next asana is Guptasana. Now sit in a kneeling posture and keep your heels outside the hips with the toes touching behind your back. Place your hands on your thighs as you gaze to your nose and visualize you are sitting in the secret seat with Paramashiva and Guru. Internally chant the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Guptasana.
Janurvo arandare pada uttano vyakta samsto.
Next up is Vrikshasana 2. Now place your hands flat on the mat and raise your legs up into a handstand. This asana should be practiced by everyone to purify the 7 chakras. Lean against a wall or ask a partner to assist you if you can't perform the asana, as you visualize you are a tree with deep roots growing into the ground.
Sapta chakra chalanaya vrikshasana visheshakan.
Next up is Shiva Asana. In the handstand position, now join your hands and feet closer together. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Tejas energy is flowing towards your third eye.
Do joyi mahi gulpa milaye ubo hoye do hath sambota kare.
Gently lower your legs down. Place your hands flat on the mat, shoulder width apart, as you enter into a plank position. Then lower your entire body down and push it back up again and again, visualizing yourself as a fish in Matsyasana 2.
Nibjam shayanam korpara parshvabhagayam ridva kritye hastatalabhyam bhumim avashtam vyavaram varam uddanam kuryat matsyasanam bhavati.
Now lay on your stomach, place your hands on your hips, and raise your chest from left to right as you visualize and move your body like a snake in Satapasana 2.
Nibjam shayanam kritva hastau nitambam samstapya padodigi kritya sammilya urasagantavyam sarpasanam bhavati.
Now place your elbows on the mat in front of you, join your thumbs and little fingers in Padma Mudra and place your chin on your hands. Feel self-supported and completely independent in Niralambanasana.
Karabhyam pankajam kritva tishtet korpara yasudi mukamunnamanutchayi niralambanamasana.
The next asana is Chaturasana. Laying on your stomach. Now place your hands on the mat, bend your knees to bring the feet up, and then straighten your arms to push your upper back closer towards the feet. Tilt your head back and visualize yourself as an umbrella, protecting your Guru from the sun rays.
Ardhyasana vastitva hastatalabhyam bhumim avashtabhyamunnayat chatrasaram bhavati.
Next up is Vajrasana. Now sit on your knees with the tops of the feet flat on the mat and place your perineum on the heels. Lean forward and down as you extend your arms out. Place the palms on the mat and your forehead on the ground as well. Gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as Vajra, the weapon of Indra, symbolizing indestructibility.
Idanim garbhininam yoga abhyaso yata lago sukha prasavalabhaya prochate praktane pati.
Next up is Meshasana. With your hands flat on the ground, raise your hips up into Gajasana position and then alternate striking the ground with your hands as you experience yourself as powerful as a ram.
Gajasana samstau ekaikam bahum bhumau tadayet meshasanam bhavati.
Next up is Ajasana. From Gajasana, now raise your legs up and slowly lower your face down towards the ground as you visualize yourself as unborn, existing for all eternity.
Gajasana samstau padadvayam mamatarale kritya mastakena bhumim sprishta ajasanam bhavati.
Next up is Dhanantarasana. Now sit in a kneeling posture. Hold onto the big toes and pull them close to your perineum. Then place your hands on your thighs. Visualize Swamiji, breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama, make an ocean-like sound with your mouth.
पूर्व विधि परिहादा की काकसी शोपनाश रामोडी पगा की अंगुली अग्रिमेडो लगावे.
Next up is the Angamotanam. Now interlock your fingers in front of your body and move your arms from left to right, up and down in all directions, giving massage to various different joints and muscles of your body. Then repeat the movement behind your back as well. Visualize Swamiji, breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama.
हस्तयोरङ्गुलिर्बद्ध्वा हस्त्योर्मध्यात् सर्वम् अङ्गं निक्षित्य तिष्ठेत् अङ्गमोत्तरम्.
Next up is Garudasana form. As you sit in Vajrasana on your heels, turn your feet outwards to the side with the toes pointing to the side. Now, keep your hands on the knees and visualize yourself as Lord Garuda, flying Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi on his back.
जंगोरुभ्यां दरां पीड्यास्तिर्कायोद्विजानुनो जानुपरिक्करद्वन्द्वा गरुडासनमुच्यते.
Next up is Ananda Mandirasana. Now sit with your legs folded back, the toes pointing backwards, knees open wide. Place the front of your buttocks on the ground as you hold onto your ankles with your hands. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize yourself residing in the blissful space of a temple.
अधवक्षे वीरनाथ आनन्दमन्दिरासनं यत्कृत्वा अमरो धीरो भवत्येवेह साधकः हस्तयुग्मं वाददेशे पादयुग्मं प्रदापयेत्.
Next up is Mandukasana 2. Now sit with your knees wide, the feet overlapping, and sit on top of your ankles. Now place your hands underneath the knees. Gaze to your nose as you visualize yourself as a frog. Press your tongue up against the palate of your mouth in Manduki Mudra and perform Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
पृष्ठं सम्पीड्य गुल्पाभ्यां जान्वङ्गे सवलयाकृतिः.
Next up is Narasimhasana. Now tuck your toes and sit on the raised heels. Place your hands on the ground in front of you with the thumbs touching. Gaze to the tip of your nose. Stick your tongue out and exhale forcefully again and again as you visualize Narasimha, the lion man avatar of Mahavishnu.
दो परापारि होय वेसे एडिमीलर गुणानि वेसे.
Next up is Vishraka Pranayama, Vishrakasana. Sit in the same posture and cover your mouth and nose with your hands. Bring your thumbs underneath the teeth and close your lips as you inhale through the right nostril and exhale through your mouth as per your capacity in Vishraka Pranayama. Gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as Devi, victorious over all your fears.
दो परापाणि एडी जोयि गाडाफनं वामनपुनि होयि.
Next up is Makadasana. Now keep the soles of your feet together, the top of your feet on the ground as you sit on your heels. Now bend your elbows, bring your fingers towards your armpits and imitate as if you are a monkey scratching itself. Gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a playful monkey.
दो भगदली संबुडाने तिनकी पृष्ठभूमि परिडाने मूलद्वार एड्यां बरगावे मूढ़ा हाथ ऊंचा ठहरावे.
Next up is Vajrasangarasana. Now tuck your toes and stand on the toes. Keep the soles of your feet together, the knees open wide, and hold onto opposite elbows behind your back. Gaze to your nose and embody diamond-like strength for yourself and your Sangha, your spiritual community.
प्रथम परापाणि होय वेसे दो वेद गुडानि वेसे गोड़ा उबारा के थीरा आड़े वाई बसारे धीरा पृष्ठि दिशि दो वो करि आने तिनकी जुगते ऐसे विधिठाने.
Next up is Kanjanasana. As you keep your toes down, cross your ankles behind and sit on your heels. Place your palms on the mat to the side of you. Gaze to the nose and visualize perfect health beyond any and all physical or mental ailments as you engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
कञ्जनासनमावक्षे यत्कृत्वा सुस्थिरो भवेत् पृष्ठे पादद्वयं बद्ध्वा हस्तो भूमौ प्रधारयेत् भूमौ हस्तद्वयं नाथ पातयित्वा निदं पिबेत् पृष्ठे पादद्वयं बद्ध्वा कञ्जनाने जयी भवेत्.
Next up is Kurmasana. Maintain the same posture but place your hands on the knees. Make your upper body and neck stiff like the shell of a turtle as you gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as a turtle with a stable body and mind to live for hundreds of years.
गुल्पौ दुवशनस्यादौ वित्क्रमेण समाहितौ ऋजुकाय शिरोग्रीवं कूर्मासनमिति ऋतम्.
Maintain the same posture but relax your upper back and neck. Keep the hands on the knees, gaze to your nose, visualize Swamiji in Yogasana.
गूढं नियम्य गुल्पाभ्यां वित्क्रमेण समाहितः योगासनं भवेदेति इति योगविदो विदुः.
Next up is Vijyogasana. Now stand on your knees and cross your ankles behind. Now place your feet near the opposite knee and hold your calves with the fingers inside and the thumbs outside as you gaze up towards your third eye and visualize the space of eternal oneness Advaita with your Guru.
गौड़म मामनो अबोहो ई गौड़ा आधारा केदो ई दचपात की पानी रहावे पनोवाम गौड़ा दिग्ल्यावे.
Next up is Ushtrasana 2. In a kneeling position, bend backwards and hold your ankles with your hands. Keep the top of the feet flat on the mat and push your hips forward as you lean back. Tilt your head back. Visualize yourself as a camel.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थिदाढ्यः संविपातय इषुःपमान् कपोतोष्ट्रासनाभ्यासं कुर्यान्वितहितासनः.
Next up is Chatyasana 2. With your heels together and the hands on the soles of the feet, slowly lean back. Bring your elbows down to the mat, followed by the back of your head. Gaze to your nose as you experience yourself as a lotus blooming.
दो एडी संबुड़ करे सोले मूल द्वारी दरी दरे पना पानी हुकड़ हो ये बेसे बहुरी पिष्टी दिश करे जो ऐसे.
Next up is Viratasana. Now sit on your knees with the thighs and calves together. Lean back, touch your back to the ground and rise back up again and again. You can use the support of your hands if needed as you gaze to your nose and visualize the healing and liberation of all causal subtle forms of your body.
जंगाप्ति भूमौ निधाय जंगोदरयोः ऊरुणी संस्थाप्य पृष्ठिपं संवारं वारं स्पृशेत् विराटासनं भवति.
Next up is Kapotasana. From Viratasana, raise your hips higher. Bring your forearms on the mat, arms over top of the shoulder as you place your head on the ground in between the feet of if you can, as you visualize yourself as a beautiful dove.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थिदाढ्यः संविपातय इषुःपमान् कपोतोष्ट्रासनाभ्यासं कुर्यान्वितहितासनः.
Next up is Varasana. Now tuck your toes and stand on your knees. Hold on to opposite elbows with your hands. Gaze to your nose. This is the boon fulfilling posture. Receive your boon from Paramashivam. Visualize Paramashivam in your inner space and internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
जानुने मोमो संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां बाहु परस्परं धृत्वा सरलं तिष्ठेत् वरासनं भवति.
The next asana is Varahasana 2. Now keep your knees together, the toes tucked. Lean forward, bring your elbows to the mat, with your hands holding your head as you place your perineum on your heels. Now visualize yourself as a boar, one of the 10 incarnations of Mahavishnu, in Varahasana 2. As you breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama, make an ocean-like sound with your mouth.
सूर्यं चन्द्रं वेदनानि कथयन्ते कूर्परो भूमौ स्थापयित्वा.
Next up is Mundasana. From the kneeling position, now place your forearms on the ground, shoulder width apart. Hold. Interlock your fingers. Place your head on the mat and hold it with your hands. As you walk your feet forward, raise your hips and lift your legs up into a headstand posture. Now calmly breathe through your nose in Sahajra Kumbhaka and visualize yourself as a lopped tree.
अधो मुण्डासनं वक्षे सर्वेषां प्राणिनां सुखं ऊर्ध्वमार्गे पदे दत्त्वा धारयन्मारुतं सिरेः सर्वासनं श्रेष्ठं हि ऊर्ध्वपादौ यदाचरेत् तदैव महतं सद्यं ददाति वायवीकला.
Gently lower your legs down. Come to a kneeling posture. The feet flat on the mat. Lean forward and down and bring your head in between the knees. Hold on to your head with your hands. Keep the elbows outside the knees. As you inhale through your nose in Sahajra Kumbhaka and exhale through your mouth in this asana. Gaze to your nose. Visualize Swamiji in Andhasana.
प्रथम पगतली समडेरावे कोरमाहिले उभय मिलावे पना पानी हुकड़ कर बेसे दो वेड़ गूढ़ा निवेसे.
Next up is Viparita Shalabhasana. Lay down flat on your stomach and keep your arms above the head. Hold on to weights if you want to intensify this asana. As you then lift your legs, arms and chest off the ground and visualize yourself as a locust.
शलभासन भेदाश्च नाथ भेरुण्ड नामके गन्ध भेरुण्ड शैते शीर्षदण्डासनं तथा.
Now place your hands next to the hips, palms facing down. Place your forehead on the mat and lift your legs up together as you visualize yourself as a skull representing the mind with purified thoughts and the strong will to attain enlightenment in Kapalasana, the skull posture.
कपालं भूमौ निधाय ऊर्ध्वं पादौ नयेत् कपालासनं भवति.
The next asana is Akasha Kapotasana. With your hands flat on the mat, now bend your back and bring your feet over top of your head. Place your feet on the ground in front of you if you can, as you visualize yourself as a free and open dove.
उष्ट्रासने स्थित्वा चरणौ भूमे रुत्थाप्य मस्तकोपरि नीत्वा पृष्ठपादेशेन भूमौ स्थापयेत् आकाशकपोतं भवति.
Next up is Chatakasana. Now sit with your feet flat on top of your heels. Lean forward and down. Place your forearms on the ground in front of you. Rest your navel on your knees as you visualize yourself as a sparrow in Chatakasana.
कोर्परापर्यन्तौ हस्तौ धरामवष्टभ्य जानुनीनाभौ सङ्कुच्य तिष्ठेतं जटकासनं भवति.
We move on to Vrishikasana too. With your forearms on the ground, now raise your hips and legs up above your body. Bend your knees. Bring the feet onto the back of your head if you can, as you visualize yourself as a scorpion in Vrishikasana too.
व्यश्चीव पुच्छः प्रतिमाङ्गिपार्ष्णि धृत्वा स्वशीर्षे चिबुकं विदाय कौयत्रेति सन्तिष्ठति साधकस्त्व विशावहं वृश्चिकसंयमासनम्.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasada Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. We are back. I hope we are audible for everyone. Let us now move on with the next asana of the sequence, which is Vrishasana. Now, place your perineum onto the right heel as you keep the left foot outside the hip, with the toes pointing to the side. Place your hands in front of the knees. Visualize yourself as a bull. And breathe in Antarangaka Kumbhaka. Forcefully inhale through your nose. Hold your breath for a short while. And then again slowly exhale through your nose.
Yamagulpe padamule vamabhage padetaram.
The next asana is Lolasana. With your hands flat on the mat, now lift your body off the ground, cross the toes of the left foot over top of the right as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Lola sanam sada kuryad vayulola paghatanat.
Next up is Vrishasana. Now place your perineum onto the left heel with the right foot outside the hip, toes pointing to the side. Visualize yourself as a bull in Vrishasana, the bull posture on the other side.
Yamagulpe padamule vamabhage padetaram.
The next asana is Bala Gunasana. As you tuck the toes of the left foot, sit on the raised left heel. And place the right foot flat, raise the right knee against your chest, keep the hands on the respective knees as you visualize Bala Gunahai, one of the 84 siddhas in your inner space.
Asana kaugana jalabikar jayi.
Next up is Grahasana. Now squat with your feet flat on the mat, and then bring your elbows under your thighs, wrap your hands around the shins, and hold your feet from the outside as you visualize yourself as the entire planet.
Padatale bhumo samstapya janu madhye kurparos samstapya.
Now repeat Bala Gunasana on the other side. Tuck the toes of the right foot, sit on the right heel, place the left foot flat on the mat, hands on the knees, visualize Bala Gunahai.
Asana kaugana jalabikar jayi.
Next up is Utkatasana. Now, tuck the toes of both feet, sit on the heels. Keep your knees off the ground and place your hands on top of the knees. You can hold on to weights if you want to intensify this asana as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Yujas fijosti yata urdvajanu yatrasane padadaladdayo pariye.
Next up is Vajra Sangharasana 2. As you sit with the heels raised, the soles of the feet together, the knees opened wide. Hold on to opposite elbows behind your back. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
Pratama panapani ho yadese do vedi godani vese goda obara ketiya ade vai pasare dira.
Next up is Anilasana. From a squatting posture, place your hands flat on the mat and step your heels onto your hands. Squat down all the way. Keep your arms straight as you gaze to your nose and visualize you are able to consume and live off of air alone.
Do hat bhumi parirane kahuni jadi na bilang ane.
We move on to Padukasana. Stand on the mat. Lean forward and down. Place the back side of your hands on the mat. As you step your feet onto your hands, wrap your hands around the feet, and start walking around on the mat as you visualize you're wearing Padukas walking across India.
हस्ततलयोः पादतले कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् गच्छेत् पादुकासनं भवति.
Next up is Kukkutodhanasana. With your palms flat on the mat. Now kick your legs up and let them fall back down again and again. As you visualize yourself as a rooster, don't forget to breathe in Antarangaka Kumbhaka.
हस्ततले वोमो कृत्वा पादतले च ऊर्ध्वं मुण्डानं कृत्वा भूमौ पतेत् इत्थं पुनः पुनः कुर्यात् कुक्कुटोड्डानं भवति.
The next asana is Viparita Nrityasana. As you place your hands on the mat, raise your legs upwards into a handstand and move around on two hands dancing. Feel yourself become free of all inhibitions.
हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य ऊर्ध्वपादाग्रे कुर्वन् हस्ततलाभ्यां नर्तनं कर्तव्यं विपरीतान् नृत्यं भवति.
Next up is Kunjarasana. Now stand with your feet separated, place one palm on the mat and hold your head with the opposite hand. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Calmly breathe through your nose in Sahadra Kumbhaka.
अदवक्षे महादेव कुञ्जरासनमुत्तमं करेणैकेन पादाभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत् शिरः करः.
Place the other hand on the mat. Hold your hand with the opposite as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
अदवक्षे महादेव कुञ्जरासनमुत्तमं करेणैकेन पादाभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत् शिरः करः.
Next up is Karambasana. As you sit on the ground with your feet flat and your heels close to the body, hold your respective ankles with your hands and lift your feet off the ground as you visualize yourself as a Kadamba tree, a pious tree which promotes a long life.
पार्ष्णिभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य हस्तद्वयेन गुल्पौ धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् कादम्ब भवति.
Next up is Pavana Muktasana. Sit with the feet flat, heels close to your body, and pull your knees against your chest with your arms as you visualize any excess vata is being released or balanced within your system.
द्वयोस्तु पादयोः पाणिं लात्वा स्वस्वनितम्बके जानुनि वक्षसे साधुर्बभ्रति करबन्धने एवं विधा स्थितिर्यत्र तत्र वायुमुक्तासनम्.
Next up is Chakrasana. Now lift one leg behind your neck. Place your hands flat on the mat. As you extend the opposite leg and lift your entire body off the ground, balance above ground as you visualize yourself as a powerful source of energy. Gaze to your third eye in Chakrasana.
पूर्वदानं च दुष्पातं पीठं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रौञ्च शलभं भुजङ्गम् अपि वृश्चिकम्.
Next up is Dhanurasana 2. Keep one leg extended and hold on to the respective big toes with your hands in Prana Mudra. As you pull the other foot against your ear, visualize yourself as a bow.
पादाङ्गुष्टौ दुपानिभ्यां गृहीत्वा शरणावदे धनुराकर्षकाकृष्टं धनुरासनमीरितम्.
Next up is Ashtavakrasana. As you lift the left leg over top of the left shoulder, hook the right foot over the left foot, extend your legs out to the side, lean forward, find balance and lift your body off the ground as you visualize yourself as a flying crane.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यं मूर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमदोत्तानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Next up is Pranasana. Now place the right foot onto the left thigh and bring the left foot flat on the ground. The knee raised. Bring the left shoulder underneath the knee. Press the right knee to the ground. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize you are immortal, able to exist solely from prana in Pranasana.
एतत् प्रवेदं वक्ष्यामि करोति यस्य चामरः एकपादमुरो बद्ध्वा स्कन्धेऽन्यपादरक्षणम् एतत् प्राणासनं नाम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकम् वायुमूले समारोप्य ध्यात्वा कुञ्चः प्रकारयेत्.
Next up is Parshvamatsyendrasana. As you place the right foot at the root of the left thigh, and then the left leg by the side of the right knee, twist your body around the raised knee and bring the arm below as you interlock the fingers behind your back. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize the great sage and yogi Matsyendranath in Parshvamatsyendrasana.
वामोर्मूलार्पितदक्षपादो जान्मोर्बहिर्वेष्टितदक्षदोष्णा प्रगृह्यतिष्ठेत् परिवर्तिताङ्गः श्रीमत्स्यनाथोदितमासनं स्यात् मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जलप्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्डरुक्मण्डलकण्डनास्त्रम् अभ्यासितः कुण्डलिनी प्रबोधं दण्डस्फिरध्वं हि ददाति पुंसाम्.
The next asana is Chakorasana on the other side. Now lift the other leg behind your neck. Lift your entire body off the ground with the opposite leg extended forward. Gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a powerful source of energy.
पूर्वदानं च दुष्पादं पीठं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रौञ्चशलभं भुजङ्गम् अभिवृश्चिकम्.
Next up is Dhanurasana 2 on the other side. Now pull the other foot towards your ear. Hold on to both the big toes in Prana Mudra, visualizing yourself as a bow.
पादाङ्गुष्टौ जुबाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावधि ननुराकर्षकाकृष्टं धनुरासनमीरितम्.
Now repeat Ashtavakrasana on the other side. Bring the right leg over the right shoulder. Hook the left foot over the right foot. Extend your legs out to the side. Lean forward, balance above the mat as you visualize yourself as a flying crane.
वाचिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यं मूर्ध्वगोक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Next up is Pranasana on the other side. Now bring the left foot on the right thigh, right foot flat, shoulder beneath the raised knee. As you gaze to your third eye and visualize you are immortal, able to exist solely from prana.
एतत् प्रभेदं वक्ष्यामि करोति यस्य च अमरः एकपादमुरौ बद्ध्वा स्कन्धेऽन्यपादरक्षणम् एतत् प्राणासनं नाम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकम् वायुमूले समारोप्य ध्यात्वा कुञ्चः प्रकारयेत्.
Next up is Parshvamatsyendrasana. Now place the left foot on the right thigh and step the right foot over top of the left knee. Twist the left elbow outside of the raised knee. Bring your arm below. Interlock your fingers behind your back as you twist your spine. Gaze to your third eye and visualize the great sage and yogi Matsyendranath, the master of Hatha Yoga.
वामोर्मूलार्पितदक्षपादो दान्वोर्बहिर्वेष्टितदक्षदोष्णा प्रगृह्यतिष्ठेत् परिवर्तिताङ्गः श्रीमत्स्यनाथोदितमासनं स्यात् मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं जडरप्रदीप्तिं प्रचण्डरुक्मण्डलकण्डनास्त्रम् अभ्यासितः कुण्डलिनी प्रबोधं दण्डस्फिरध्वं हि ददाति पुंसा.
The next asana is Ardha Paschimottanasana. Now extend one leg forward and press your perineum with the opposite heel. Lean forward and down. Hold onto the front foot with both hands, as in Paschimottanasana. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform Jivachala Kumbhaka, retain the prana and move it freely within your system by the force of your will.
एकं पादं प्रसार्येकं पादस्य पार्श्विनाश्विने सम्पीड्य हस्तद्वयेन प्रसारितपादाङ्गुष्ठं धृत्वा जानुपरि मस्तकं न्यसेत् अर्धपश्चिमोत्थानं भवति.
Next up is Kraunchasana. Now bring the left ankle outside the hip and hold on to the right foot with both hands as you extend your leg up in front of your face. Keep the knees straight and visualize yourself as a crane.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यं मूर्ध्वकोक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमदोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनं उत्थानपातं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Now repeat Ardha Paschimottanasana on the other side. Extend the opposite leg, bring the heel towards the perineum, lean forward and down, visualize Swamiji.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पार्श्विनाश्विने सम्पीड्य हस्तद्वयेन प्रसारितपादाङ्गुष्ठं धृत्वा जानुपरि मस्तकं न्यसेत् अर्धपश्चिमथानं भवति.
The next asana is Crown Shasana on the other side. Bring the right foot outside the hip, hold onto the left and extend it up in front of your face as you visualize yourself as a crane.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यं मूर्ध्वकोक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमदोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनं उत्थानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Next up is Swastikasana. Now sit in a cross-legged posture and place your feet in between the thighs and calves. Keep your hands on top of the knees. As you embody peace, well-being, good fortune and prosperity, visualizing a swastika as you gaze to your nose.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे सम्यक् कृत्वा पादतले उभे ऋजुकाय समासीन स्वस्तिकं तत्प्रचक्षते.
Next up is Gorakshasana. Maintain the same posture but cover your heels with your hands. Spread your fingers. Lock your throat in Jalandhara Bandha as you gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize the great sage Goraknath, founder of the Natha Yoga Hindu Sampradaya in Gorakshasana.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे पादौ तानो व्यक्तसंस्थौ गुल्पौ चाच्छाद्य हस्ताभ्यां तानाभ्यां प्रयत्नतः कण्ठसङ्कोचनं कृत्वा नासाग्रम् अवलोकयेत् गोरक्षासनमित्याहुर्योगीनां सिद्धकारणम्.
Next up is Bhagasana 2. Now bring the left heel towards your perineum and place the right foot onto the left thigh. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize Swamiji. Meditate on Arihanta, the Lord, the Enlightened One. As you get ready to enter Shanmukhi Mudra, inhale all the way. Close your mouth with ring and little fingers, the nostrils with the middle fingers, the eyes with the index fingers, and the ears with your thumbs.
वामपार्श्वगुणं संस्थाप्य दक्षाग्रं वामजङ्गने.
Next up is Yogasana 2. Now place your feet on top of opposite knees. Place your hands on the ground beside your body with the palms facing upwards. Place the back side of your hands on the ground. Gaze to your nose. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. And breathe in Kakachancha Kumbhaka. Roll up your tongue and stick it out as you inhale through the rolled up tongue. In Yogasana 2.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा संस्थाप्योपरि जानुनौ आसनोपरि संस्थाप्य चोत्तानं करयुग्मकम्.
Next up is Urdhva Kukkutasana. From Padmasana, place your palms on the mat beside you. Rotate your hands and push your hands into the ground, lifting your entire body up off the ground as you visualize yourself as a rooster.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यं मूर्ध्वकोक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Next up is Siddhaharatali Asana. Now place your hands in between the legs. Place your palms flat on the mat. Don't lift your body up. stay seated on the mat as you gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Keep breathing in Kakachantra Kumbhaka.
प्रथम पद्मासन को करे हस्तदो वो गोड़ासन दिदरे उबे हथेली बोधरी राके पोचा गोड़ासन दिमाही दाके पिष्टि हथेली की है जानम आसन लगावे राखे ठानम नासा दृष्टि अचल ठहरावे सिद्ध हथेली नाम कहावे.
Next up is Hamsasana. From the same posture, now push your hands into the mat, lift your body up, balance on your arms. As you visualize yourself as an elegant swan, breathe in Kakachantra Kumbhaka and gaze to your nose.
कुक्कुटासन स्थित्वा स्कन्धपर्यन्तम् ओरनु नीत्वा तिष्ठेत् हंसासनं भवति.
Next up is Karmakasana. As you sit with your legs in Padmasana, bring your hands in between the legs. Push your hands through all the way behind your back as you lean forward and place your forehead on the ground. Interlock your hands behind your back in Parusha Mudra as you visualize yourself as Lord Shiva's bow in Karmakasana too.
प्रथम पद्मासन को करे गोड़ासन दिमाही करिदरे तरापहा दुसरी राके दो आन कोन्या उपरि समदिले ठाने.
Next up is Kurmasana too. From Padmasana, bring your arms between the legs and bend your elbows to hold onto the respective shoulders with your hands. Now visualize that you are a turtle with a stable body and mind to live for centuries as you keep breathing in Kakachantra Kumbhaka and Kurmasana too.
बामी जंगबर दक्षिण पाव दहिनी जंगबर बामिल्यावे पहल्या अंशृगाले हाथे कूर्मासन यह कहा वै या सुमसबा इंद्री सकावुचे.
From the same posture, now tuck your chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha, lock the perineal floor in Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose and rejoice, knowing you're now sitting in Shiva's secret knot posture, Granthi Bhedasana.
अथ वक्ष्ये नीलकण्ठ ग्रन्थिभेदासनं शुभं न्यत्वा रुद्रोपवे क्षिप्रं सूक्ष्मवायुनिषेवनात् कृत्वा पद्मासनं मन्त्रे अङ्गुष्ठजङ्गयो हृदये करौ कूर्परापर्यन्तं विवेद्य स्कन्धधारणम्.
Next up is Uttana Kurmasana. From the same posture, roll onto your back. Keep holding on to your shoulders with your hands as you embody a turtle laying on its back. Gaze to the tip of your nose. Breathe in Kakachantra Kumbhaka as you lock the perineal floor in Mula Bandha in Uttana Kurmasana.
कुक्कुटासनबन्धस्थं कराभ्यां धृतकन्धरं पीठं कूर्मवदुत्थानम् एतदुत्थानकूर्मकम्.
Now, kick yourself back up into a cross-legged posture. Sit in Padmasana. Now bring your hands in between the legs. Place one palm flat on the mat and hold its wrist with the other hand as you lift your body up on one arm, visualizing yourself as a rooster in Pangu Kukkutasana.
कुक्कुटासनवच्चित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मणिबन्धं धृत्वा हस्ततलेन भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य तिष्ठेत् पङ्गुकुक्कुटं भवति.
Now place the other palm on the mat. Repeat Pangu Kukkutasana on the other side. Keep visualizing yourself as a rooster and breathe in Kagachanchukumbaka through the rolled up tongue.
कुक्कुटासनवच्चित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मणिबन्धं धृत्वा हस्ततलेन भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य तिष्ठेत् पङ्गुकुक्कुटं भवति.
Next up is Gridasana. Sit in Padmasana. Place your elbows onto your toes. As you interlock your fingers in Parashamudra, rest your chin on your fingers and press your thumbs against your throat. Visualize you have gone beyond all greed and covetous in Gridasana.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे पादौ उत्थानौ व्यक्तसंस्थौ गोपी चाचाद्य हस्ताभ्याम् उत्थानाभ्यां प्रयत्नतः कण्ठसङ्कोचनं कृत्वा नासाग्रमवलोकयेत् गोरक्षासनमित्याह योगीनां सिद्धिकारकम्.
The next asana is Padmasana 3. As you sit in Padmasana, hold one hand with the other palms facing upwards in your lap. Now engage all three bandhas, Mahamudra Bandha, as you gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्थानौ चरणौ विधाय विधिवत् शक्तिस्थितौ व्योगिरात् उत्थान शवकरौ च शक्तियुगलन्तले.
Next up is Padmasana 4. Now place your hands on the knees. Engage the Mula Bandha and gaze to your nose as you visualize Paramashiva in your inner space. Internally, repeat the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
एतत् पद्मासनं कुर्यात् प्राणवायुप्रसिद्धये शुभासनं सदा ध्यायेत् पूरयित्वा पुनः पुनः ऊर्मूले वामपादं पुनस्तद्दक्षिणं पदं वामोरस्थापयित्वा च पद्मासनमिति स्मृतम्.
Next up is Karmukasana 2. Now keep one hand on the respective knee and hook the other hand around the respective big toe in Prana Mudra with index and middle fingers. Now move the big toe round and round in a circular motion as you visualize yourself as Paramashiva's bow. Then repeat the movement on the other side as well.
अतान्यासनमावक्ष्ये योगपोरकरक्षणात् कृत्वा पद्मासनं पाद अङ्गुष्ठजङ्घयोः स्थितिं हस्तमेकं तु जङ्घाय कर्मुकं कूर्परोदकं पद्मासने समाध्याये अङ्गुष्ठं परिवद्यते.
Next up is Karmukasana 3. Sitting in Padmasana. Now cross your arms behind your back and grab the big toes in Prana Mudra. Now gaze to the tip of your nose. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize yourself as Paramashiva's bow, Pinaka.
कर्मुकासनमाक्षित्य उदरे पूरयेत् सुखं तदा वायुर्वसो याति कालेन सूक्ष्मवायुना कृत्वा पद्मासनं मन्त्री वेष्टयित्वा प्रधारयेत् करेण दक्षिणोर्नैव वामपादान्तिकं ततम्.
The next asana is Dridhasana. Maintain the same posture. Raise your chest. Gaze upwards as you visualize that you are the action of Paramashiva's third eye, destroying anything you come across as you contract the perineal floor in Mula Bandha in Dridhasana.
ऊरुभ्यामपरिस्थाप्य पादयुग्मं प्रयत्नतः दक्षिणं सव्यदेशे च सव्यं दक्षिणदेशके करद्वयं पृष्ठदेशे परिवृत्य प्रयत्नतः पादाङ्गुष्ठयुगं सम्यक् कराभ्यां सन्निगृह्य च.
Next up is Nagarasana. From the same posture, now lay down on your back. Keep your legs in Padmasana, the arms crossed behind, holding onto the big toes if you can. Gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as a snake and breathe in Sahajra Kumbhaka calmly through your nose. Lead the prana along your spine.
प्रथम पद्मासन कोटाने दो हाथ पांचाने आने पाद अंगोटा पगड़े आने सोवे कहुन्या कुल्या पानी गोड़ा जंग अग्र को दाशे मस्तंग को समसूदो राशे नासा अग्र दृष्टि को धरे नासा अग्र ऐसे विधि करे नासा रोग जुना राहे विशाली पिनसा जोया.
Now you can free your arms and legs. As you lay on your back, pull your knees up against your chest. Encircle your knees with your hands, interlock them in Parusha Mudra, and squeeze your body into a ball as you bring your chin to the knees in Kandukasana.
वेत्रासने स्थित्वा हस्तपादान् निष्कुष्य ऊर्ध्वं नयेत् पृष्ठवंशेन भूमिं पोतते कन्दुकासनं भवति.
Next up is Urdhva Pavanasana. Now lay on your back with your knees raised, the feet flat. Interlock your fingers behind your neck. Gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space, calmly breathing through your nose in Sahajra Kumbhaka.
प्रथम सोदो सैन करावे गोड़ा उबाराशे मिलावे गुल्पमा हिला अंगुष्ठ दोई करे एक समेल रसोया.
Now place your upturned palms underneath your heels. Step your heels onto your hands. As you push your hips up, lock your chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Breathe in Murcha Kumbhaka and visualize yourself as a powerful alpha ape in Marakata Pitasana.
उत्तान शयनं पादतले उत्तान हस्तयोः स्थापयेत् पृष्ठभागमुत्तमय्येत् मर्कटपीठं भवति.
Next up is Uttana Shikipitakasana. As you lay on your back, lift your hips and place your hands at the lower back, bearing your entire body weight on your elbows as you point the toes, gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
जंगोरु बलहीनश्चेत् उत्तानशिखिपीठकम् अप्रमत्तः प्रकुर्वीत भुक्ते प्राग्विजितेन्द्रियः.
From this posture, now raise your hips and legs up straight. Then place your arms flat on the mat for support. As you visualize blissfully traveling through hell, Naraka Loka, unscathed in Narakasana.
ग्रीवाकण्ठेन भूमिं विस्तम्भ पादाग्रद्वयम् ऊर्ध्वमुन्नयेत् नरकासनं भवति.
Now bring your hands to the lower back, straighten your body, and lower and angle your legs. Keep your core engaged as you visualize yourself as a boat crossing the ocean of samsara in Tiryannaukasana.
नौकावत् स्थित्वा ऊर्ध्वं पादाग्रद्वयम् आम्नयेत् तिर्यन्नौकासनं भवति.
Next up is Dvajasana. Place your hands flat on the mat, straighten your legs. Now visualize yourself as the Kailasa flag, respected across all nations.
तिर्यन्नौकावत् ग्रीवापृष्ठकोर्परैः भूमिम् अवष्टभ्य मस्तकलाक्षेन पादाग्रद्वयम् ऊर्ध्वनयेत् ध्वजासनं भवति.
Now lower your body down, lay flat on the mat in Mritasana, the final posture of this sequence. Keep your palms facing up, unclutch from any movements externally or internally. Intensely pull the awakened Kundalini Śakti up along your spine from the Muladhara all the way to the Sahasrara Chakra. Visualize your body as dead. And Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is liberating you. Internally chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Uttanam Shabavad Bhumau Shayanam Toshabasanam Shavasanam Shramaharam Chitta Vishranti Karanam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda
slowly return to your physical body. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles, elbows and the knees. Pull your knees up against your chest and rock your body from side to side as you slowly return to a comfortable seated position. Congratulations, you completed the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, all 308 asanas of the sequence. Let us now move on to the power manifestation session, manifesting the Shaktis of Paramashiva. As we conclude today's Nithyananda Yoga session, sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Join your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart center. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as we chant the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you all, Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasada Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gahana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, I welcome each one of you for this power manifestation session, which we are having now right after the Nithyananda Yoga, the complete performance of the Pratama Vinyasa Krama and the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, the 308 asana sequence directly blessed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, as we are going to enter to the power manifestation, the power of third eye, manifesting, reading and seeing with our eyes completely blindfolded. It was such a complete, intense yoga which we had for the complete 3 hours. So it is completely rejuvenating ourselves, our body and mind to enter into the space of power manifestation, manifesting the state, space, powers of Paramashiva. Now, requesting all the participants for in this Paramashivam level 3 on this day 20 of this season 4, and who is watching us live across different social media platforms, to please request to bring your IBANs, pen and paper, and please be seated.
Make sure you have an IBAN, pen and paper, and please be seated. If you don't have an IBAN, something to blindfold yourself. Any black cloth or a cloth which is completely opaque so that doesn't allow any kind of light or the vision to be completely seen. Now, I'll be reciting the Shastra Pramana, the scripture reference, and the translation for this power manifestation, the power of third eye, where the Supreme Court of Hinduism, Swamiji very beautifully tells that every single power manifestation, be it the process, be it the initiations which has been given, or any special gifts which is being delivered to each one of you in this Paramashivam level 3, everything has a Shastra Pramana, the scripture reference. That where Bhagavan, Paramashiva himself, Shiva himself tells that when you get so and so gifts, a so and so process, initiations, what happens to your inner being, what happens to your inner space. It is not just to keep your eyes closed and then you just randomly see something and then you manifest something and then you just walk off. Not at all. When you actually be in the space of power manifestation, the space of Paramashiva means you and Swamiji, you and the divine are one and the same. It may be Swamiji, maybe an incarnation, or you are maybe just a disciple of Swamiji. Does not mean that you and Swamiji are one and the same. As Swamiji very beautifully tells that each one of us are his own extension. Each one of us are Paramashiva. So with that space, now I'll be reciting the Shastra Pramana and the translation for it. And then I'll get you step by step what we're going to do in this first round of the power manifestation. Kapalantharmanonyasya tishkhanmilitalochanaha kramena manasodhadyat lakshayed lakshamuttamam. This is a verse directly revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 11, Dharana 34. Now I will telling the translation for it and then we'll enter into the power manifestation. The translation for this very verse is by fixing the mind on inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having your eyes closed in succession. By that stability of the mind and inner space, through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal, Lakshya, by having vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source, Paramashiva himself. For all of us, Swamiji. So in today's round 1 of the power manifestation, I'm going to be again projecting any random image to all of you. It can be shapes, it can be object, it can be plants, it can be something related to nature, it can be colors, it can be anything. So that's going to be today's round of the power manifestation. Please keep your eyes closed. Make sure you have an iPad with you. Please blindfold yourself. Keep your eyes closed. Remember the form of Paramashiva, the form of Swamiji, anything, whichever you like, whichever form. As yesterday we received Swamiji in the form of Nithyanandoham, day before yesterday the Veerabhadra Murti, and many different forms of the darshans we have been receiving for the past 19 days. So any form of Swamiji, whichever you prefer, that you feel that you are completely connected with that form. Remember that Swamiji's form on your third eye. Keep your eyes closed. Just take a few seconds to remember him on your third eye or on your inner space and feel that space of oneness. Keep your eyes closed and now let's all chant the Mahavakya along. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now I'm going to project the image to all of you for this first round of the power manifestation. Keep your eyes closed.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes. Now, as the first round of the power manifestation has been completed, please relax and take off your eye bands. Please relax and open your eyes. Now, let's take a few minutes to please pen down everything which has been revealed to each one of us through our third eye, through Swamiji, whatever has been revealed in the first round. Please write down everything, or you can type out your answers as well on the Zoom chat or whichever social media platforms you're actually watching. In a few moments, I'll be projecting the image to all of you. What was the image was chosen and projected to all of us for this first round? Please take a few moments now to type out everything and write down in detail whatever has been revealing to you this Swamiji. Yes. So now let's move on to see what is the image which was projected to all of us for this first round of the power manifestation. As you can see, this is the image which is projected, which has it's a complete building blocks. It's a toys actually, which is red in color and blue in color, which is behind white background as it is, and it's completely like a rectangular shape of a toy. Now you can see this is the image which is projected to all of us. If you're able to actually manifest, either you're getting colors correct or the shapes or anything which you're able to feel that you're able to at least get close to it, you can type out your answers as well in the Zoom chat telling, yes, this is what Swamiji has revealed to me. But if you're not actually able to see anything, if you're just able to see only darkness and kind of see, well, okay, I just saw color, but not to the detail. I saw like 2-3 colors, but I'm not sure what it is. Leave that message as well. Now, let's move on to the second round of the power manifestation. Please keep your eyes closed. We have the second round. It will be a complete quick round in the second round as well. Keep your eyes closed. Remember, Swamiji and you're very in a space. We are entering to the round 2 of the power manifestation. Start chanting the Mahavakya intensely from your navel center. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now I'm going to project the second image for the second round of the power manifestation. Keep your eyes closed.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda.
Yes. Now, as the second round of the power manifestation has been completed, please relax and take off your eye bands. Please open your eyes. Please open your eyes. Now again, let's take a few minutes to type out or pen down everything, whatever has been revealing to you, whatever is revealed to you through your third eye for the second round of the power manifestation. Make sure you write down or type out everything in detail, because Paramashiva is in detail. Whatever is happening in and around us, whether you are Paramashiva or the gadget with which you are actually watching this session, that is also as Paramashiva. Everything, the pen and paper, the iPad, everything is Paramashiva. Paramashiva is in detail. So write everything down. Whether you're able to see, whether you're not able to see, or you're able to see too many things, but you're not actually sure what is the actual correct thing, which is actually the image. Write everything down as it is. In a few moments, we'll be seeing what is the image for the second round of the power manifestation. Yes. So now let's see the image for the second round. I'll be projecting the image to all of you. All of you can see. This is the image which was chosen for all of us. For the second round of the power manifestation, it's again same building blocks and Lego blocks, but this time it's a square. It's a square shape which has 5 different colors, which has green, yellow, blue, red, and a black. So these 5 colors are there in this round 2 of the power manifestation. So whether you're able to get colors correct, or the shapes, or even in that Lego blocks itself, there are like few small circles, or behind the white background as it is. So now let us all take few minutes before we move on to the next session. As we are coming to the conclusion of the complete 21 minutes of the power manifestation today, let us all take few minutes to go ahead onto our social media and share our experience. What we have manifested in this round 1 and 2, in this complete 21 minutes of the power manifestation. As today also we have a long day to go to receive Swamiji in the form of the Bhagavān Dakshinamurthy. Let us all get ready for that, prepare ourselves as we going to move on to the next session. Thank you. Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Ananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Your fears, incompletions, insecurities, nothing is needed for you to exist. Paramashiva alone is enough for you to live absolutely, blissfully, celebrating, fulfilled, complete, intensely. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.